Do, 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 do. Well, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope that we always do. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheem Osby. We're going to go around and introduce. These are my brothers from another mother, but we got the same father first. We got Captain Leonard. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem and the Morning Glow family.
Good deal, good deal. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having a blessed day so far.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Captain Leonard, you know how we get started, man. Tell us what's going on in the political arena, man. What is going on? Any new transactions from yesterday to today?
Well, of course, there's lots of things going on. I think the most significant, if you're interested in something that's going to last long beyond this current president, is that nominee for Supreme Court Justice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good look at your government and who's involved in your government, how they behave, and their character.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not just talking about the nominee themselves. I'm talking
Exactly.
about those doing the questioning,
Mm-hmm.
especially where we have so much ignorance located.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, somebody was telling me something. I hadn't had an opportunity yet to put up the clip, but they were saying Lindsey Graham was going to her in some kind of way, man. What was Lindsey Graham doing?
Lindsey Graham was doing what he does. However, a lot of his questions were related to her religion and things like that, and him trying to make something out of nothing as
Mm-hmm.
it relates to her beliefs
Mm-hmm.
and her actual religious preference. And in that particular case, she pretty much made it clear that her religious preference is about her personally,
Mm-hmm.
and that what she does on the bench is about her professionally. And that's the issue with a lot of this questioning is it's not very objective at all. It goes nowhere. And then it's like speaking with a child almost, how
Mm-hmm.
they question. It's
Yeah.
very childlike and immature. It doesn't get at anything of substance that would
Mm-hmm.
lead anyone to believe that she would not be a great uh, Supreme Court justice. So they're doing their best to try to paint her in a very negative light.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's not working.
So, from where you're sitting and knowing her history, is she qualified?
She's more than qualified. It's never been an issue of qualification. She
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't really be there if she wasn't qualified.
So,
Remember,
what's
there's not a whole lot of qualifications. That's
yeah?
one.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So,
So it's what you look at is you look at the experience and the record, the types of decisions that they have made, and
mm-hmm.
things of that nature to kind of predict how they would act on the Supreme Court. But she has more than enough background. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of Superior Court justices who have been elected come from the same background as her
Mm-hmm.
professionally.
Wow. Wow. So they have no, basically what I'm hearing you say, they have no legs to stand on in regards to disqualifying her or saying that she should not have that position.
Right. Their only thing is the motive behind their questioning is the fact that they don't want a black female in their seat.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
the motive behind the questioning.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Badger, what are you saying when you look at this whole situation, or have you been following it?
Man, I've been trying to keep up with it. Leonard, I believe, is way ahead of me on it than I am. Because to me, it's almost this. Most of the time, it's the same thing as always. Especially if it's someone that is actually wanting to bring about a very positive change.
Mm-hmm.
someone that probably will fight for the rights of, you know, humans, and anyone that they know that could disrupt their system, especially a black person, because that's always their prerogative of, well, let's throw out questions and do things that are unorthodox just to stir up everybody else's emotions and do a whole bunch of stupid crap and see
Mm-hmm.
what happens. Because
Wow.
we're in power, we can get away with it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Leonard, at the end of the day, she will be on the Supreme Court. At the end of the day, what do you see moving forward with her?
I mean, I think she's going to be a lot more vocal about what goes on. She's going to be a lot more transparent
Mm-hmm.
on the court than most have been. It still does not upset the balance of those judges that usually stick together. I think it'll be around 6-3 in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the votes in the court. Six conservatives, three appointed by liberal
Mm-hmm.
Democrats. But I think she'll be confirmed for sure. I just hope she brings a lot more to the post and is a lot more transparent with the people. That's
Mm-hmm.
what's important. That maybe, it would be great for a Supreme Court justice to feel it necessary to speak to the people
Mm-hmm.
about certain things other than those, how when they dissent on issues, they publish their dissent.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully she will open it up more so that young people understand the importance of the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm. And it is very very important.
Yes.
There's a huge responsibility there, man. But it's
Ignorance is going to be it's coming to a point, and it's always been my point of view, that ignorance is not a virtue.
mm-hmm.
It's just not.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't be. There's a certain level of ignorance now that is willful in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know it, it ain't because it's not out there or what have you. It's because you're not paying attention
Yeah. Or you don't want to know it.
or you don't want to know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There ain't nobody trying to really keep a whole bunch of secrets from you.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were secrets, they really don't matter in your life. So it's best to find out, the basics. The
Mm-hmm.
basics that a lot of people forgot, how this government works, how important it is that you know who you're voting for and who's running for office and what's necessary in your community as well.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, I was watching a little clip of some of the questioning and things like that. I'm trying not to laugh
Mm-hmm.
because of the stupidity of it, especially when it comes to Ted Cruz. Um, I just, I mean, everything I've read up on, I've read and heard her speak about and things like that. I think she's a very educated human being that's got a lot to bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think she's as corrupt as a lot of the others are, and hopefully it stays that way.
And that was going to be my next question. Do you think that if she does get or when she does get that seat, when she does get that seat, do you think she's corruptible?
That's hard to say. I used to say that a truly good-hearted person or guided person can't be corrupted. But when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to the politics of America, I think they can corrupt just about anybody.
Wow. Wow. Leonard, what do you stand on that, Leonard? Do you think she's corruptible?
I mean, I don't even look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to do a great job and she's going to make the decisions based on the facts and the law.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's going to do. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like this is some big fashion show or where people sway a lot or what have you. This is about a body of work called the Constitution of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what I'm expecting her to really focus on, and how we, if necessary, amend it, support it, are, things that we need to go back and take a look at.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's open to that, but doing it in a way that's appropriate is
Mm-hmm.
what's most important. I mean, she hasn't been swayed here up until this point to get to where she's at.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we'll just have to see.
Now, in everything, when a certain person come in, aboard on a new ship, if you will, and I'm using ship as just description. There's some people there that you cling to, that you lean towards when you first get there. Who would be the person, knowing the Supreme Court like you do, Leonard? Who would be the right person for her to kind of lean toward a little bit, just to get her feet wet and understand what's going on?
She doesn't have to lean towards anyone.
Mm-hmm.
It is her position as a qualified interpreter of the law to come up with a decision based
Mm-hmm.
on the law.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter which way it leans, it's being consistent with the law. She's
Mm-hmm.
most likely going to be on the side of a more open
Yeah, and that's what I was
discussion.
saying. That's what I was asking right there. What way should she lean coming in? Like with everybody, when you come into a new job, there's some people there that you can look at, you can say, okay, well, they doing it the right way, or they kind of swaying a little bit. I'm not clear about them. Who would be the person or the group of people that's there on that Supreme Court that would probably lead her in the right direction so that she could stay steady?
This is not a OJ. This is not a OJT situation.
Mm-hmm.
She goes prepared to do exactly what it is she's supposed to do on the first day.
Mm.
And that's what she's going to do. That's what most justices do,
Mm-hmm.
unless it is obvious based on their dissent or why they agreed with something when they publish,
Mm-hmm.
on why they made the decision. These people tell you why they make decisions they make, and they tell you in detail why they make those decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have someone that don't want to talk about it, whether sweep it under the rug or refuses to talk about anything, that's the person you have to be leery of.
Mm,
That's the
mm.
person you have to be leery of. But when they publish their opinion, it's
Openly,
usually in detail and everyone can read that.
when they publish it openly.
And like I said, the count is usually around 6-3 right now of those
Mm-hmm.
justices, six being appointed by Republicans, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and the three appointed by Democrats.
Okay. Um, when is it official?
I'm not sure when this is over. I can't remember. I don't know.
Okay.
That part
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Rico,
I
good
think
morning.
it's maybe till they satisfied. I'm not sure, but they
Yeah.
still have to. It's still about her getting those votes from that confirmation hearing.
Mhm. Wow. Rico, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. Welcome to a beautiful new day, everybody.
Hey, welcome to you as well, brother. Welcome to you as well. What do you think about what we're talking about right now, man? How does one prepare? Leonard said, there's no way, there's no OJT, but you're going into a very prestigious, if you will, position. You're gonna be on the Supreme Court. You're gonna be great responsibility. Is there any preparation, or should there be?
She did all the preparation on her way to that seat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you asked the question, could she be corrupted? And honestly, I think it's hard for a person going to the Supreme Court to be corrupted because they've already made the resume.
Mm-hmm.
Like Linda said, they make their decisions and then they have to give you the reason behind their decisions. And we expect those judges to actually go down the middle and be fair and equal.
Mm-hmm.
But being human beings that they are put in those, being that they are human beings put in those positions, they still going to have their viewpoint or interpretation of said laws. So that's why you still will have certain judges that will decide in a different direction than another judge.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a history that precedes her. She done set a precedence on where she stands. And that's the reason why Biden chose her, because based on the job she's already done, he knows the type of rulings that she would give, or whether she's more liberal or conservative,
Mm-hmm.
or whether she's more for the little man or for the corporation. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
yeah, I don't think she could be corrupted,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, if she was to go corrupt, people wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
because
Yep.
we are so distracted by what the media tells us to pay attention to. This will end up being just like Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas. And I was such a young man when I saw that going on.
Mm-hmm.
But just as soon as he got confirmed, it was like, oh, well, he's in office, forget about it.
He made it.
And it's like that with every judge that's appointed. Most people
Mm-hmm.
don't even pay attention to how they rule after that. It's just a matter of whatever the media brings up. If Trump wants to go ahead and appoint one, so Biden can't do it, or if they want to keep Obama from appointing one, and they want to set a new precedence and all this, that's what takes precedence until the next go around, and we just follow around like sheep. So I think whatever the hoopla is right now, it'll die down just as soon as she's appointed to that seat. And if she is appointed, then we won't hear about her again until she's old and about ready to die, and it's time for her to give up the seat, unless she does something very controversial in one of her decisions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. What's on your heart there, Badger?
Um, I shouldn't have went down the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
I I'm sitting here for anyone that's listening or whatnot. They literally asked her to define what the word woman means
Mm.
with no context.
Wow. Wow.
Asked her about how Georgetown was teaching critical race theory, and just I'm like, half of these don't sound nothing like what the hearing's actually about. So how long are they going to keep up this nonsense and just let her do her job?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
I just
That,
want to go in and slap all them white people and kick them out.
wow. That's interesting. And Rico said something very interesting yesterday as well. That it wasn't really people didn't really, I don't know, pay attention to or acknowledge or whatever the case. But he said that he don't agree with how this whole process took place, with you getting a specific person from a specific gender, from a specific race, to put them in that position and say that they're the best one for the position. But are they really, Leonard? Is she really the best qualified? All just if you take all those elements that Biden used to elect her, is she the best qualified for this position?
Yes. Yes. See, that's what people fail to realize. All of them are qualified.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I said
whether you
best
like
qualified.
it's whether you like them or not.
Mm-hmm.
The only people that don't want her to be on this court is the people who are making this complaint. And this is what a white racist always does. It's fine as long as it's a white man that's chosen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anything else is unacceptable to them.
Mm.
Anything else. To choose someone
Including women.
that Biden can choose whomever he would like to nominate.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have this committee process for her to go before the committee for them to go through this exercise.
Mm-hmm.
She is qualified. The thing
Oh
is,
yeah.
are there things in her past or things of that nature that may cause her to do something so contrary to what America is about that she would be unfit to be a judge of
Okay.
the Supreme Court?
Okay, and my question, Leonard, I think it was a little different. I know that she's qualified, but is she the best? If you take away all those elements, black woman, and all these things, if you take all those elements out, is she the best qualified? Is there somebody out there that may have been a little more qualified than
No,
she?
no, there
Okay.
isn't. There just isn't.
Wow. Okay.
So the issue about qualification to me is just a bunch of stuff okay, so does she have a law degree?
She does.
You know, stuff like that. What
Mm-hmm.
qualification are you looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
the qualifications to be a president ain't all that big.
It's not.
No, it's not at all. Anybody can
You
just
don't
about be
even have to have
president.
a.
Hold on, Badger. Hold on, Badger.
So when people are talking about qualifications, what qualifications you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
What that's like, I don't like subjective arguments because they never end. Because all you got to do is just change how you feel about something and just say it. Then it don't have to make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go back and forth about that forever. But that still has no impact on here's the sheet of paper, here are the qualifications. Oh yeah, check off the boxes. All the boxes are checked. I mean, what's the big
Mhm.
deal?
Mhm.
Find a better word to use would be better. A word that communicates your true intent would be better.
Mhm. Mhm.
See, it's a difference between asking a question and then making an implication,
So
which is
basically,
what is behind a lot of this questioning.
is again a diversionary tactic that they're
Yes,
using to try to
it's about
divert you.
racism. It's about
Mhm.
racism,
Wow.
and
Wow.
it's about sexism,
Mhm.
and all those questions that a lot of these people are asking to try to defeat her.
Mhm.
The motive behind it, like I said, is to prevent a black female from being on the court. That is the agenda. Has nothing to do with qualifications at all. It's just a
Mhm.
smokescreen that people say to cover up their racist intent.
Mhm. Wow. Wow. Badger, you was about to say something?
Oh, when I heard the president comment, I'm like, yeah, they don't even have to have an IQ.
Wow. Wow. Rico, elaborate on your stance on this, and I'm pulling from what you said yesterday about being the best qualified. Elaborate on that for me.
Yeah, you know that when Linda put it like that, it is true. She is qualified.
Mm-hmm.
But the question will come back to, is it truly a fair search or is he discriminating?
Mm-hmm.
Could there be some Asian man or Hispanic person that could have been just as qualified? Maybe has been a judge longer. Maybe has a better record. You know, he made a certain designation. Yes, in this free country of equality, I want me a vice president that's going to be fair and equal, but she got to be black.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be a black and got to be a woman. So imagine if he decided to make his whole cabinet black women. You know, I want to go to the Wakanda and I want to get some of them special forces women to be my whole cabinet. Sooner or later, there's going to be some people like, wait a minute now. So you telling me that as an Asian, a child, as a black man, that I may not even be qualified or I might not even be considered because I'm not this and that. I mean, you know, we got to be careful of not liking certain tactics and then at the same time embracing certain tactics and say, oh yeah, wait, yeah, fine, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get me wrong now, you know, two wrongs don't make a right. Sometimes you do have to make adjustments for all the wrongs that have been done in the past. But at the same time, do you specifically make it an agenda to say I want to make it a black woman, or do you do it because that's just the most qualified person that you were considering?
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good, Leonard.
The only people opposed to it are the people that do not want a black person in that seat. Period.
Wow. Wow. Mm. And that's such a strong.
They can't find any reason why she should not be there.
Mm-hmm.
They can't.
And I would agree with that. But my thing is, and my question lead back to what Rico said earlier yesterday. Is she the absolute best qualified? If you take away all the sex and the agenda and all these,
No one is. No
no one.
one is
Or is
absolute.
this
No
discrimination?
one is
Is this
absolute at all.
discrimination?
There would be just someone different.
Mm-hmm.
We would not be having the discussion if she was white.
Mm-hmm. I can
It
agree
is
with you there.
because she is black that we have a
I can agree
problem
with you
with.
there.
Not
I can
because
agree.
she's not black. It's because she
Mm-hmm.
is black.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
While you're questioning the issue,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
there is
Okay.
a black man on the seat. There is a woman on the bench. There
Mm-hmm.
is a white man on the bench. Why not have an individual that was of native descent? Well, that I don't even think that is possible based on what the law may. I would have to check that myself because the only way to remove a Supreme Court justice is through the impeachment process as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it is basically to say, for instance, when there were no women on the court, racist white men had no problem with that.
Yeah.
As soon as you tried to bring a woman in, guess what? Now there's a big deal and there's a big problem. Why? Because she's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So you've currently been discriminating. That's the law that you were under before. It discriminated against all these types of people. That's what you did in the beginning. That's your precedent, one of racism and sexism. So if you're trying to reverse that damage, you must diversify the court. Why exclude a black woman?
That's it. I can agree with a piece or a part of that, but at the same time, it's still my question still lingers around just a tad bit. Toussaint, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Well, sounds like it's Tuesday again.
No, this is we're going way out today, brother. This is way out Wednesday, and so
Yeah, okay.
yeah. But what do you think about this young lady, man? That's actually running for
No.
office. That's going to be elected. That's going to be elected. And I say she's going to be to the Supreme Court. Do you think she's the best qualified, or was the search tainted a little bit because there was a specific kind of person that they was looking for?
They always do.
Mm-hmm.
They always do. Here's it. Just me. They either do something to stir you up or calm you down.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're emotional. We're emotional about things. And we inconsistent, consistently inconsistent. We don't pay attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We get excited for some reason when it hits a first certain criteria, and when it doesn't, we get upset. I don't know her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know her. I don't trust none of them. Period. I don't really know if there. I haven't. I don't know. I know that there is somewhere, but I didn't. I never met a good judge or lawyer in the system that we live in because the system is corrupt.
Mm.
So if you did have the best qualified person, they couldn't do nothing in the system. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like me uh, um, trying to fit in where get in where I don't fit in. No matter what I think, no matter how I feel, no matter what changes I desire to make, if there are people that, like we said yesterday, dictate the narrative, sooner or later, I'm gonna find out that I'm useless in the system that
Mm-hmm.
we live in, especially in America. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. The phone lines are open. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input on what we're talking about today. The young lady that's running for office right now for the Supreme Court, getting a seat. Is she the best qualified, or it has was the search just a little bit tainted or guided in one way? Curtis, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on with you, Cap? What do you say to that, man? Is she the best qualified, or if they would have opened up the eyes just a little bit more? Is there somebody out there like Rico said, and maybe been a judge for a little longer, that's a little more qualified than she?
Um, it might be somebody out there that's got more years in service, but it ain't too many out there that's got her qualifications.
Mm,
She got more qualifications than most of the judges that's on the bench right now.
mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I heard you. Yes.
She's more qualified. The only person more qualified than her that's sitting on the bench right now, if I'm not mistaken, is the man she replacing. Clarence Thomas don't even have the qualifications that she has.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and let's be clear, she's not being elected for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
She's being confirmed for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, sometimes you know what? It's like uh, uh, Bill Gates. You know Bill Gates. wouldn't hire nobody who had, I think it was 15 or more years in the software field
Mm-hmm.
because he wanted to keep fresh, young, you know what I mean, people in office. You know, he wanted to keep fresh young people in his job. So, I think we got the best person for the job. I mean, that's my opinion. I think we got the best person for the job. Outside of that, she's the only one that has been a public defender.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that she's been a public defender is a lot of times, if you look up her case law and her case study, she's by far one of the only, if not the only, bipartisan judge that's going to be sitting on that bench. And that's including the liberal judges that's sitting there. So I think he made a good choice on this one right here.
Mm-hmm. But was it narrow? What was it? Do you like the process that he used in narrowing it down? I want this. I want a female. I want her to be a black woman. I want, was that process, was that fair to everybody else out there?
You know what? It was just given us. You know what I'm saying? Why we got to be so fair? It ain't been fair to us.
Mm-hmm.
That lady who got on the bench, that last lady that just was appointed, I mean, she hadn't even never represented a case in a courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
She became a Supreme Court judge. She ain't never been in a courtroom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Judge Kavanaugh, they tried to make this lady last night. They tried to make this lady yesterday look like she's soft on sex offenders. Right? Judge Kavanaugh, y'all ain't had one word. Y'all defended this man when this man rapist is sitting right here. Is she telling y'all, look, he raped me? Man, I ain't buying that right here.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't even buying that line of questioning.
Okay. Well, my thing is right here, and y'all know how I deal with this thing. I'm the question asker, and so I'm gonna ask the questions, and so and I appreciate the fact that y'all gonna answer the questions and deal with it from where you're standing, and accordingly. Leonard, what do you say to that?
What specifically? To what?
If do you think it was narrowed down too much? Was it fair to everybody?
No, because it started off with a list.
Mm-hmm.
That started off, and people
list.
don't understand. It is the prerogative of the president to choose.
Mm-hmm.
That comes with the job.
Mm-hmm.
And he's most likely going to choose someone whose ideologies and things like that are similar to his.
Mm-hmm.
This woman was not picked just because she was black.
No, we're not saying that at all.
Right. So to come around and use the defense that he somehow was unfair or what have you is according to what? Because when you judge fairness, according to what standard?
Mm-hmm.
What standard are you looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Because according to the standard, he was not unfair. He's done what every other president has done. He's chosen the candidate that he wants to be in that seat for the numerous reasons he's given.
Then let me paint this picture. There's 100 people in the room. There's 100 people in the room that want this seat. And it's across the board. Black, white, Latino, Asian, across the board. And he come in there. He said, "Listen, okay, this is who I'm going to elect. All of y'all are qualified. All of y'all are pretty much on the same scale. So if you're a woman, come on this side. Okay, good. If you're a black woman, come a little closer. And all these other people that are not those, not that they're not qualified, it's just that he's looking for a specific individual that he want to be in that seat. Is that fair to all the other qualified people? Should they at least get a chance?
Yes, that's completely fair. Look it up. It's completely fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's on paper. It's on paper. It's not in my mind or in someone else. It's on paper that it is fair for him to do that.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Badger, what's on your heart?
There were other nominees,
Mm-hmm.
so I was trying to find why this human was put to the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the same. It's a lot related to almost the discussion previously by the court and things of that nature. Some of us are familiar with affirmative action.
Um,
Now you know you just stepped on Badger.
Oh, I thought Badger was finished.
Mm-hmm.
well, just because I paused away my thoughts don't mean I'm done. Um, there's actually something I think everyone should hear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I can figure out how to share it, because it's absolutely, it's so fitting for what we're talking about that I think not. What? What?
Continue, Badger.
Oh dear God, Leonard, now you confused me. Um, if it's all right to share, I just don't know how to bring it up.
Okay. Why you do that? I'm gonna move on to someone else. Why you figure that
Okay.
part out? Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Once again, we have to also remember the precedents Will set. You know, okay, I look at it like this. He could have actually said, you know, there have been minority judges in the past, justices in the past that were overlooked because of politics.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the process of that being adjusted, I'm going to move in honor of affirmative action, and my way of making this choice of who I want to appoint. This is what I'm going to do, or this is what I would like to do. You know, that would have been pretty cool, I guess, if he said it that way. And I guess he probably did say it in so many words, and some people are still mad and they're using the argument that I made. So it would have been a lot easier for him to just appoint her and not even tell people that you're excluded because you're not a black woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
See, think about that end of it.
Mm-hmm.
In America, where everything is supposed to be done fairly and equal, you tell everybody, well, you know what? As vice president, hang it up. Unless
Mm-hmm.
you black and you got some breasts between, or some breasts.
Mm-hmm.
You are not going to be vice president during my administration.
Yeah.
Oh well, you know what? He got got to appoint a Supreme Court justice. I know it's a lot of y'all out there that might be qualified, and you might have a dream to be a Supreme Court justice.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ain't a black woman, I must exclude you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, now, don't get me wrong. I do want to see a black woman on there. But just the fact that he let it be known that I am going to discriminate, I got some favor. You see, when you put that favor out there, then you leave yourself actually vulnerable to be accused
Mm-hmm.
of not being fair. He said it. He could have actually did the same thing and not said the word that he said, and we wouldn't be having this conversation. But guess what he did?
Put it out there.
So a lot of times that's even an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
We don't realize it though. And then it's another thing about it. We're talking about this woman, and we didn't know nothing about her before this even happened.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody's ready to accuse people of not wanting her for this reason or not wanting her their own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But really, truly, it might just be the whole process. It might just be the way this whole system has been set up. You know, Curtis brought up Kavanaugh and how everything was swept under the rug, and he had these women saying he had raped them and stuff, and he still got on now. You know, so I mean, it's all a gig and a favoritism thing. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you know, we're gonna participate in it and be involved in it. We have to acknowledge that either we're gonna be cool with bias or we're gonna be against it. See what he really did, he just caused a lot more confusion because the next person could say, well, you know what, I want a completely white nationalist representative on the Supreme Court board, Justice Board.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
what I want to appoint. You know, what's to say that the next person won't say, well, you know what, man, I know it's time to appoint somebody, but I need specifically a transgender
Mm. Mm.
to be on the board. We need some diversity. So even though it's supposed to be a fair and equal process, I got my eyes on somebody specifically. And the rest of
Mm-hmm.
you are disqualified. Oh, let me be quiet, because if I tell them I say this, then they're going to know that I was being discriminatory.
Mm-hmm.
See, we can't condone discriminatory practice. You know what I'm saying? We really can't condone it unless we're going to try to find a way to justify it and get everybody to realize that this is not really discrimination, but this is actually repairing injustices that was done as far as in the past when it came to appointing Supreme Court justices.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Charles, good morning. How you doing this morning?
What's up, bro? What y'all
What's up?
talking about?
We're talking about the young lady that's being in the seat in the Supreme Court. Is she the best qualified? Is she the best qualified, or was this search because he said he wanted a specific person, a specific group, a specific? Was that unfair?
I was listening to Rico a minute. Um, it is unfair, no matter what. It is. You are discriminating when you say something like that, because it's just, I don't understand. It's actually pandering to black people, and we so simple at sometimes that we just fall for it. It's pandering, it's discriminatory, and it's unfair. Simple as that. Because you can't say that about, I want a black guy or I want a white guy, just like Rico was saying. It's just what it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfair. And I heard Rico say something about Kavanaugh. That was a witch hunt anyway, bro. None of that was real. If you really look at both sides, y'all, sometimes people don't look at both sides. I don't. He said something that Curtis said. I didn't hear.
Hold on. Go ahead,
I
Charles.
didn't hear exactly what Curtis said.
Hold on.
Things
Hold
like that.
on. We're not gonna talk over each other. We're not gonna talk over each other. Y'all hold on.
I actually didn't hear what Curtis said, so but I know that Kavanaugh thing was a witch hunt, but that's not what it's about. What you're talking about is the young lady or the judge, the female judge that Joe Biden. I don't understand how anybody still back Biden, but that's another subject also. But if you ain't black, you know, if you don't vote for Biden, you ain't black. But anyway, I had to throw that one in there. That's just unfair, just like Rico was saying. It's discriminatory. It ain't repair. It's not. It's funny that he also mentioned repairing. It could be. He didn't say it was. He said it could be, and he brought a scenario of that, which makes sense. It could
Charles,
be.
let me ask you a question. Charles, let me ask you a question real quick. And I said the same thing, that was it a just process? I said a lot of the same things, but is it just the same process in reverse? Because a lot of time for far too long it's been that they want to put in that office based on who they want to put in that office, and then open it up for everybody to have an opportunity to sit there. So is it the same thing in reverse?
Say that again. I really didn't understand what you were saying, brother. I'm sorry.
Is it the same process in reverse?
What do you mean?
I got some background noise coming from somebody's line. I'm trying to
figure
it. Okay. Probably because for years they elected who they wanted to elect, put who they want to put, and didn't open up the door for everybody to have a fair and equal chance to sit on the Supreme Court. So is this the same process in reverse?
Is it unfair also? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If the process was unfair before, it's still unfair now.
Exactly.
Just because the person is black doesn't make it fair. You can say I want an Asian person on there, and black people will feel excluded. You get what I'm saying? So either way it goes, you're not repairing anything. You just you're keeping the BS going. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to throw you're trying to throw a new roof on a house about to fall off. But the process you're using is wrong.
Okay.
So Biden, what Biden is doing actually is pandering. You understand? It's pandering, and something else is going on with this. Because I don't know whether all black judges have white husbands, but everybody he picked did. I'm just saying. Not that I got a problem with blacks and whites mixing. I'm just saying this dude has been a racist and a bigot all his life, and the way he done this is racist and bigot. Everything he does is racist and bigot. The most racist and bigot congressman out there.
They can say that same. They can say that very same thing about a lot of the people that sit in the position of the president of the United States of America. They've been racist their whole life. They can say the same thing. The same argument.
Yeah, but you got proof on this one. You got this guy in Delaware that nobody black in Delaware likes him because he's done nothing black for people black in Delaware when he was a senator.
Let's do this. Hold on, Charles. I got
the laws that he passed.
Charles,
okay,
I got to include everybody, brother. I got to include everybody.
All right, go ahead, move. All right, move on. I said my piece.
But my thing is this right here. We can say the same thing about Trump in New York. A lot of people in New York.
No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't, bro.
No, you can't. Okay. Now that's one sided because I can. You can't, and you can't tell me what I can say.
You can say what you want to, but it doesn't.
Charles, hold on, brother. My thing is this right here. You can say what you want to say, but you can't tell me what I can say. And I have my own stance of what I feel.
You're right.
Hold on, brother. You okay, Charles?
No, I'm saying you're right.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. But my thing is this.
I never have a problem.
Will you stop, brother? Charles, will you please stop, brother? Where's your self-control, bro? I asked you to stop 3 times. Why you got to keep doing that? Stop it, man. You're not going to do that on this show. Okay. Now, my thing, let me go to Ray. Ray, what's on your heart, man? Was it just?
It's tokenization. And, that's that simple. Not fair. I mean, I don't think the system itself is fair in at all, but you got to be able to tell those positions no. You can't be like, we made it. Nah, you got to say, no, I'm good. You got to be able to pass that up. It's that simple.
Okay. So, and I agree when he said that it wasn't all the way just. But I also agree that it has never been all the way just. And so is this just a reversal? Like I asked Charles, it's just a reversal of what's going on in the past?
No, not at all. The reason why I don't consider a reversal is because the positions in the past were in regards to or disregarded the consideration of our mindsets. Now, when you decide to say you need a person of color or a person of whatever stature, so on and so forth, you feed into the mindsets of every person of color that's watching. So it's not a reverse. It's a new tactic or a redefined tactic. Yeah, it's like tokenization to the max. Because if he looks like he's helping us and putting us in power and putting us in play, people not gonna complain. But I don't know. That's not, to me. That's not the case. Like that happens. That happened often. Like Bill Clinton. A lot of people loved him. A lot of black people love Bill Clinton. He locked a lot of black people up. Passed 3 bills that did that. But we love him. Quote unquote love him because of the tokenization that he did. He was like, all right, let me take some black people. Let me move them this way, that way, this way. In front of the camera, make statements that rile the people up. So yeah, it's to me it's a little different. You have, if we were looking at, because it's the president, we were looking at people at that stature, you could go like all the way back to like, I would say Abraham Lincoln. There's a difference in between what he did. Like, right, let's say people say Abraham Lincoln was just freeing slaves because it was on the docket, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. But he's always been like that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? He's been like that the whole time. If I can get on there and Google previous bills that you were a part of and it did not favor my people, and now all of a sudden you're putting one of them in power, that's iffy to me.
So very suspect. Curtis, you was gonna say something, brother?
Man, look, listen. Every time a politician has realistically moved to have this country, but no, I don't think it was unfair. every time a politician has moved to have this country and its representation and its institutions look more like the country as a whole, it's been this favoritism issue. And if we want to call it favoritism, then God doggone it, we got some get back. We got some get back. Because it's been a bunch of people that was way more qualified than the last 3 judges. The last 3 judges appointed. Charles, I don't know what Trump gave you. Whatever he gave you, I hope it was enough, brother. And I hope and I pray for you, brother. I hope them folks don't show up on your door on an embezzlement or fraud charge. I really do. And I'm not saying that you committed it, but I'm hoping that they don't show up. I'm going to pray for you, brother, because if you look, this came out of Trump's mouth personally. Out of his mouth, not no pundit wrote it. He appointed that last judge solely because he figured that he was planning on his questioning of the election going to the Supreme Court in which he would rule in his favor. That came out his mouth personally. Now, if that's why you appointed her, then that is unfair. She was actually appointed solely because she was a supporter. When that lady said last night, out of everything she said yesterday, the one thing that I love that she said, she was speaking to Tom Cotton. And she told him, I'm sorry, sir, but I don't pass legislation. I believe in being a judge. I am a member of the judicial branch of government. It is not my job to speak on legislation beyond the law. So I can't tell you what was done right and what was done wrong in any form of legislation as a legislator. What I can tell you is the application of the law from which the legislation states. Right?
Okay.
Here's my opinion, Raheem, real quick and real simple. They don't want that lady on the bench because half of them is getting a whole bunch of money from these, half of them is getting a whole bunch of money, contributions to their campaigns from these judges who are also getting money by keeping the prisons packed. It's a bigger picture, man. And when you look at her, 571 cases that she has dealt with, she got more cases on her file than the Supreme Court justice. She has more qualifications than our Supreme Court, than our what's the head guy name? I know it's Rogers or something like that. But the seat where oh God, Lord have mercy. Oh Lord, my ancestors gonna smack me in the head later on. The Supreme Court, whoever is it, the head judge in the Supreme Court, it escapes me right now. She has more qualifications than Justice Roberts, who is the head judge in the Supreme Court, right?
Yes.
In her 571 cases, what they found out yesterday is that she believes in an overall carry out of the law. So she believes in sending you to jail, sending you to therapy, probation. She encompasses everything that's within a judge's due bounds to give you.
Wrap it up.
So what
Curtis.
they did was they tried to say she was soft on crime. Nah, she just believed in all sorts of ways to either rehabilitate and or punish.
Good deal,
man. Listen, man.
Good deal. Hold right there, Curtis. We got to keep it moving, brother. Got to keep it moving. Let me go to our
keep it moving.
Badger. What's on your heart, brother?
Well, that video I sent you, I think it definitely needs to get played. I am, the more I'm looking into this, the more concerned I'm actually getting. The USA Today put out a thing saying that babies are racist.
Babies.
Babies.
Okay, Badge. I'm trying to connect what we're talking about here.
And it all stems from the conversation with Miss Brown, Miss Jackson. The video I sent you is where a white female senator is asking Jackson to define the word woman. And Jackson refuses to answer it, to define it. They're using all kinds of tactics to get news out there on Fox, USA Today, and things like that, trying to say that they're challenging her religion, her faith, her ideologies, everything possible to try to paint a picture of, in a nutshell, what most Republicans stand for. That's why I think that video is really important, because it shows how much in a nutshell, she approaches it from a judicial standpoint. Each case is a case. So to define the word woman, you have to play the video.
Okay.
Like, I can't do it verbatim.
Got you. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, I agree with what Ray was saying. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm not saying that the woman is not the most qualified, but at the same time, we have to make sure we're not jumping on the bandwagon. And Charles is telling the truth. Biden has a history. You know, sometimes you catch him with a hot mic, and you still hear him talking, sounding like he did when he was talking about the super predators and the thugs, that he didn't care what caused them to become that. He just wanted to get them off the streets. You know, we embraced Bill Clinton because he came on Arsenio and played saxophone, and then like Ray said, sent us to prison, man. Crack laws. Everybody jumped on that bandwagon. So now here it is. The play is in play again. The playbook is in motion. Black girl solidarity. Ain't nobody seen nothing like that in the last 7 or 8 years. Chucks and pearls. Black girls rock. Not black people. Black girls rock. This is the most who's improving and progressing faster than anybody when you start talking about groups. Black women. They coming up, ain't they? They got some momentum. And some people like to jump on that bandwagon just to get in place and play that game, because that's what it seems like everybody is embracing. They like to jump on the bandwagon so much that they will even disrespect us by giving Cardi B a platform to talk with the future president of the United States. How bootleg is that? And we just sit here and clap and eat it up. Yes, sir. Here they come, more black folks. And they just sitting back laughing at us and playing with us, man. But look at who the woman married to. Look who Kamala married to. Black girl magic. Black girls rock. They ain't nothing like Michelle. Matter of fact, I only see Michelle supporting them when it's necessary. Because I don't think they even think like her. I might be wrong, and I don't have nothing against this Supreme Court nominee. Now, Kamala, she's Joe Biden all over again. We know her record in California.
But Rico, let me ask you this question.
See, we play these bipartisan games, and really and truly we should actually look past and read below the surface, beneath the surface, and see what's really going on. Because a lot of these people that jump on our trends and our bandwagons, to let you know, yeah, I'm with the hip hop nation. I'm with the hip hop culture. Vote or die. Yeah, let me get a Cardi B. You know, they'll do all that and then come right back and start talking about super predators again in another 2 years.
Let me ask you the question I asked Charles. And I know a lot of what Biden does and his track record. I know that, I've actually looked at that, and it's not all favorable. It's not all favorable at all. But but y'all said that people in Delaware don't like him too much, don't care too much for him. Granted. Do the people in New York love Trump?
No, everybody in New York doesn't love Trump.
Mhm.
So that really doesn't matter who likes him.
Mhm.
Because some of those people that don't like him might be molesters and pedophiles.
Mhm.
They might be uber liberal or extreme conservative. They might be white nationalists. So
Mhm.
that doesn't matter. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? The thing
No.
is you look at the track record
Yeah, and that's
and
my
you look
point.
at how
And
they
that's my
move.
point right there, because and that was my point, because you can't say that people in Delaware don't like Biden and then not say that there's people in New York that don't like I deal with both sides of the coin, and in dealing with both sides of
Right.
the coin, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there's a fact on both sides. There's fact on both sides.
Complete. Yeah. Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. You're correct. And that is unfair to use that. I mean, if you're going to call the pot black, call the kettle black too. You could
Exactly.
just say, oh, they don't like Biden. They don't like Biden. Well, who loves Trump?
Exactly.
I mean, some people do love Biden. Evidently, he got 70 million votes to beat Trump.
Exactly.
So Delaware, he didn't need Delaware. Somebody else liked him. So,
Yeah.
those are distractions. You know what I'm saying? That
Exactly.
those are, once again, bipartisan talking points that people introduce. And they can be saying something real good and then go right back sideways because they don't drunk the Kool-Aid. So it's now, well, a minute, I want to wake y'all up and get y'all from this mindset of being fooled. But then I'm going to come right back and jump into the mindset and do the same thing myself. Trump, Biden. So I mean,
Yeah.
those argument points, man, that's just how confused and distracted we are. And we play a part in it.
Yeah, exactly.
We definitely do play a part in it, but we have to be very aware of the fact that this has been going on for the longest. Them putting people in our faces that we'll accept and applaud, and then at the same time, when those people get what they need to get, it goes right back to the status quo.
Exactly. Good deal. Toussaint, what's on your heart? Leonard, come to you next. Toussaint?
Yes, sir. That's not cool.
Come on. Way out Wednesday, brother. Way out Wednesday.
I was just waiting my turn.
Come on, let's get them.
Look here. I agree with a lot that's being said, because what if they made their effort? How would you feel if they made their effort to say, we're only looking for a white rich male from the state of Mississippi?
Wow.
How would you feel? What would you say to that comment?
That's crap.
Okay, so it's not crap because they're saying that they're looking for an African American female.
And that was my point exactly. That and that's why I say there may have been somebody out there, that may have been better suited or more qualified, but because of the fact that he narrowed it down to just that, I say it was a tad bit unfair. I understand the reasoning behind it, but still, no, it was a tad bit unfair. But go ahead.
No, but what I'm saying is we settle down and we get excited or frustrated or even mad and ticked off when it don't fit what we're looking for.
Yes, come on.
Because we're looking for them to fix the system and make it just. And so what they do is, instead of fixing the whole system and say we're just gonna be fair, it's kind of like they won't give you a glass of water; they give you a drop at a time. And because it's water and it has the same ingredients of what you're looking for, you don't want a full glass. You settle with a drop, and you're happy about it.
Wow.
And you say, praise Jesus, hallelujah. Thank you. We finally got what we're asking for. Man, it's just a drop of water.
Yeah. Ain't gonna do nothing. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Not too much. not too
Mm-hmm.
much. It is like people have their own opinions. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
part of a particular movement that I mean, I don't share the same opinions with people on this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's bearing no fruit at all. I am
Mm-hmm.
more in line with what my people have fought for. I'm not sure about all these other delusions and things of that nature. The what if sometimes goes a little bit too far when it's not even about that. The process is such. No one has a problem with the process until a black person is in the seat.
Mm. Wow.
Nobody has a problem with it
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
until a black person makes that advancement. But then again, I heard there is something common about the trauma of the past as it relates to these preferences that some people may even have for their own oppression
Mm.
because they don't know how to live and be free. So they don't think free. So they always think like they're being pandered to. That's
Mm.
that's that's an issue. That's a psychological issue. That's
Mm.
a psychological issue
Yeah.
because in some people's eyes, no black person is good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Even in some black people's eyes, that is
Yeah.
true.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That is a psychological concept.
Mm-hmm.
And it is sad that anyone would be against the advancement of African Americans simply because they happen to be black. What other it's like Byron Allen's fight with the Supreme Court as it relates to racism. Here we have a billionaire who, for some reason, his product is not acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
They have not been able to prove anything that's different, him being less qualified, inferior services, or so. What do you think it would be that they don't want to allow him to run his product on those networks? See, the conversation used to be it had to be the only reason
Mm-hmm.
that you could use, and it would be discrimination. But that's not true. Because you will be black and people will always be able to look at that and see that. However, this is about more than being black. So much more.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the ramifications, first of all, we're looking at Roe versus Wade. That concept, period, relates to females and females having the power to make those decisions. People didn't want Sandra Day O'Connor. They had issues with her as well. Sotomayor, they had issues with her. But nobody seems to have this issue as long as the person is white and male.
Mm. Wow. Good deal. Ray, what's on your heart, brother?
Just the a little bit on what Leonard just said. To me, the idea or the concept of a black person or anybody in a particular society or group of people getting to a particular point that we should all celebrate it. You can put your foot in the wrong door. Just it's straight like that. And I give you an example. The military now. Notice I'm saying the military now. Once you hit E7, you're no longer black. You're green. You can't keep anybody safe. Because everything that you do goes to the congressional level. That's the foot in the wrong door. Once you're an officer, a second lieutenant or first lieutenant, you're green. And this is the military of the old. It's still the good old boys club. It's still predominantly ran by white males. So this is now the foot in the wrong door. But you can't take the foot out the door, right? Because your livelihood, what you're not willing to sacrifice. So that's the big thing, is what you're willing to put on the table. If you ain't gonna put nothing on the table, then don't talk about it. As far as I'm concerned, because people have gone in the wrong direction. I got 9 years in intelligence. I literally could have stayed in and retired as whatever rank I so choose. I was good at my job, but that was the wrong foot in the wrong door.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole ideology of it's not it. We're making it seem like the trauma is based off of past things or so on and so forth. But if we all can come to the understanding that this is a psychological warfare, then that means there's still cases being born every day. It's not like we're saying, oh, woe is me, slavery, woe is me, this, woe is me, that, 100 years ago, 200 years ago. And we're talking about the stuff that they do now. Like it's incumbent upon us to recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
What this group of people, black people, should understand is that we ain't got the format. So for you to be like, for anyone to say or to think that things have been washed away and we can move forward, that's not the case. Nah, you learn your adversary in war, and most of the times you flip it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, not to knock what all of Leonard was saying, I just want to put out there the mindset that no, it's still current, and you can go in the wrong direction. It's just what are you willing to do and sacrifice to go in the right direction. And until you make that step, you gotta take a step back and let everyone else move.
Okay.
I don't know. It like literally the safest thing for me to do or anyone to do is to be in the military, but the military ain't for black people.
Wow. That's a heck of a statement there, brother. That's a heck of a statement right there. Charles, what's on your heart?
Man, I want to ask this man a question, man. You been listening to me?
Yeah, I listen
I
intently.
love what he just said, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love what he just said, man. Haven't I been saying that forever? Don't
What?
get me wrong. I understand how some people get tricked into it. But when you really look at the logic of America, its foundation, and what we've gone through, that is an organization we should never be a part of unless we're trying to infiltrate it, to sabotage it, and bring it back to our community to use against
Are
them.
you talking about the military?
Right.
I disagree with you on that, because anything that you can do to advance you is a good thing to me.
I just said that.
Now hold on, let me finish. Now Ray went into the military, but he see what he saw, he feel what he feel. I understand that. I went into the military. My brother went into the military. I got nephews in the military. We capitalized off of what we got from the military. You get what I'm saying? So we use it as a stepping stone, even though I have a brother who retired. But when he retired at 38 years old, this dude can do whatever he wants to right now.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So he capitalized off of, just like Ray capitalized off of what he learned in the military. You understand?
I know people, Charles, and I don't mean to cut y'all, brother, but I know people that has gone into the military. I know them personally right now that's gone into the military, and for the reason for advancing, capitalizing, but the military took so much from them.
But it didn't take much. I understand what you're saying, and it will.
At the end of the day, it really wasn't worth it. Go ahead.
And that is the truth. You got people who die, and it's not worth it to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I took a job not to die.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But if you capitalize off of things like that, you good. You get what I'm saying? You got cats leaving the military, 4 years no college, 5 years no college, making 6 or 7 figures, 6 figures plus, no college. So you capitalize off of those things. But this is not a military conversation. This is about, like what we were saying, the fairness of picking this judge.
But you know what? What they say in Domino's. A lot of times, what they say in Domino's is all money ain't good money.
Well,
all money ain't good money.
Money that feeds your family and take care of your lifestyle, as long as it ain't illegal, is good money.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? You got people who on the side of the street begging for money.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right about that. That is true. But me being a military, ex-military dude, and when I went in, I wasn't military. You gotta understand, when I left, I wasn't military. But I understand what I went in for. You understand? I understand the reason why I went in. To advance myself and to be better for certain things monetarily. I picked up a skill that nobody can take, that I can walk in a room where people with 4 years of college can't touch me.
Mm-hmm.
Even more. White, black, doesn't matter the color. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
bad dude with my job. You
That's good.
understand?
Good. Hold on, Kurt. Hold on.
So
Hold on. We gotta move around. Go ahead. Finish your thought. Finish your thought real quick.
Call him big.
so if you
I
so
love him. If you call him big.
everybody can jump in, man. I can't finish my thought.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, so if you're looking at, like, going back to the subject of this lady, the black lady who he picked, and I was trying to ask Wade, did she not know the answer for what a woman is, or was she being political with that? Because if a judge up there who don't know the answer of what a woman is, I don't give a care what color she is. I don't want her there.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they pick a Native American if you want to make it look like America? You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. Hold right there. Go ahead, Curtis.
And who paying Curtis to talk for Joe Biden?
Listen, let me explain something to y'all. Let me ask a question first.
Mm-hmm.
How many people on this panel right now has actually had the pleasure of meeting all three people that we have discussed? Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump. How many people either have had the chance to meet them or have a direct connection to them on this panel right now?
I have not.
Okay.
I have.
One more question. How many people on this panel right now can honestly say that they are the same man today that they was 30 years ago, 40 years ago?
No. Cannot.
Oh, okay.
I ain't moving that over yet.
Let me just throw this out here.
Mm-hmm.
I've had the chance to meet personally, sit down, have a conversation, get apology, the whole nine, with two of the three. I have a connection with the third. All right. So when I evaluate men, when I evaluate people, period, I evaluate people for their entire body of work, not just for the characteristics that I think are beneficial to me. I evaluate them for their entire body of work and for the truth thereof of what was going on in the entire body of work. You understand? So I think some folks, just like I did, I think some folks need to search deep. Now, when you talk about this lady, right? How many of us know that this lady was the presiding judge over the Hillary Clinton emails? She was the federal judge that told the Clintons, no, you're going to give up that server, period. According to law, that server belongs to the federal government. You need to give it up. How many people knew that? How many people knew that? I'm just curious. That's what I mean by understanding people or folks' body of work before you just make an opinion about a given person. Now, I had a conversation with Joe Biden, literally face to face at the fish fry, pulled me over to the side, and we had a conversation because he had heard that I was at Cobart Towers. I had the same conversation with Bill Clinton. Pull me off to the side because I told him, hey man, I think y'all being sabotaged. Maybe it's the chickens coming home to roost, but I think y'all being sabotaged. I think you got the wrong people setting power in your campaign. That's what I think. Right? And we literally had a face-to-face conversation. Donald Trump, listen, if I saw this man in the street right now, I would have to stand up for my wife and I would have to smack every bit of taste out of his feet. Not out of his mouth, out of his feet. That man stole money from my wife, man. Literally, straight to her face, straight like that. He messed over her whole entire community up there. Now that idea that folks in New York like Donald Trump There's a large percentage of folks in New York that can't stand him. Why y'all think he ain't moved back there? It ain't had nothing to do with him being president and all that. No, they don't want him in New York. They can't stand him. And it ain't just black folk. It's black folk, Mexican folk, Puerto Rican folk, white folk, all kind of folk up there. Armenians, the Asians, they can't stand him. They couldn't stand him before he ran for president. Now, as an actor, I do want to say, and I'll end with this. As an actor, if anybody goes through, as a black actor, we go through probably more racial discrimination if we go with the ideology that we're talking about right now than anybody. If you don't believe me, go to backstage. Go to the backstage and look at how they list job opportunities, gig opportunities. They'll tell you, I am looking for a male between the ages of such and such, such and such.
Yeah.
Black or white. They'll tell you, I am specifically looking for a female ages 25 to 35. So, listen, I get it. I understand the moral compass of, well, you know, him coming out saying blah, 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 this, that, and the third, being unfair. But I got to pose the question. Why did he do that?
Good deal. Let me keep this thing moving. Toya with a T, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Get money. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Sis, I know the answer to this question, and you know I know the answer to this question. But where you from?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay. Now, you being from Brooklyn, you from the state of New York, you have firsthand. Do people in New York love Trump?
Oh yeah, some of them. Some of them. You know, it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature of who we desire to like. Some people like the bad guys.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Some people like the villains. That's their favorite hero, the villain. You know what I'm saying? So some people do. It's not the whole state of New York that do not. And when it comes to that, even, believe it or not, more black men in New York. I mean, if you look at the numbers from that time that they voted, a large percentage of black men voted for Donald Trump. So when we start breaking down those numbers on who likes him, it takes another 4 years for them to say, okay, yeah, no, we don't like him. And it's the same thing with Biden, right? Because we all started off cheering for Biden, but now, especially in New York. I mean, we some tough cookies up in New York, though. I'm not going to lie, man. We are some tough people. What? But we're real people and we're looking for real stuff. So, like, right now, they're dwindling on Biden as well.
I found it interesting that you said a lot of time people like the villain. I was like, wow, I didn't expect that one. But we're talking about the young lady that's getting the seat on the Supreme Court, and we're asking the question. Biden said he wanted a specific person, a specific race, and a specific gender. If that be the case, and that's who he selected, was that a fair and a just way of doing that, or did he just totally disregard everybody else?
Well, I don't think it's fair at all, period, because I thought you had to be a judge in order to be on the Supreme Court. But that's not true. So you don't have to be a judge to be on the Supreme Court. So it's not fair, period. From just the start, it's not fair. Because you don't have to have a law background or anything like that. So when it comes to all fairness, this is what we used to. This is what they do. And there's a reason. There's a reason. Why did you want that? Like, again, I'm not mad. I'm all for my people. But it's something strange going on with us lately where we don't have loyalty. So, you know, I'm always going to be, pro-black, but I'm the pro-right black, not the pro-house slave, house master, house role black. understand what I'm saying? So, what's the purpose and the point of him wanting a specific person? I get the race part because you want to attempt. They don't really care about us. So again, when they go to talking about being fair with us, I look at them with the crooked eye, like what? Wait a minute. Out of 500-600 years, now all of a sudden you just gonna stop and just be right? That's real strange to me. But whatever, you know what I mean. But I mean, hey, it's what's the agenda behind it? What's the agenda behind it? And just like Kurt said, we need to know our people. You know, one thing I teach people as a manager, even if you're working for 725, you need to go on with a CEO mindset. And that means you need to know your person, you need to know what they've done, you need to know if you want to work for that person. They could have been the head of the KKK. Do you want to work for that person? Find out who they want. So with this individual, it don't make a difference what we say. She's still been appointed to the office, and that's not fair for her. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So in this world, being black, man, unfair. Oh, I look for it. I just need to go direct it to that.
Good deal. Good deal. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, was that process fair? He said he wanted a specific person, a specific kind of person, specific race, specific gender. Was that a fair process?
As far as I'm concerned, it was, because the reason he made that decision is mainly because Clyburn, Representative Clyburn from South Carolina, who is a major influencer in the black community, has asked him specifically that if this was one of the things, in order for him to support him, this was one of the things that he was asking him to do. And we all know that when Clyburn supported him, things shifted and turned around for him. So I definitely believe, and why not? That is, there are a bunch of white men on there. Well, when I say a bunch, 3, 4, whatever it is. You got one black man. You have a Latino. Why not? It's about diversity, and that's why Clyburn had asked him, specifically to try to appoint a black woman. We deserve a seat at the table. And I believe it was an honorable thing because he was fulfilling what he said he would do. And the woman is all of the women, the judges, the black women that they nominated, that he nominated or he was thinking about were amazing black women with amazing records. So why not? And I believe it was totally something that should be done because we deserve a seat at the table.
Wow. Okay. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Listening to a lot of what's being said and things like that, and I just looking at the situation and the behind closed door stuff. Because that's part of my research style. Like I weigh on why was she elected? Why is she being questioned the way that she's being questioned? Who were the other nominees that could have potentially also had a chance to get this position? What were their standpoints? And would they have been questioned the same way? And in my opinion, with everything I am finding right now, I honestly feel like everything's staged at this point. I don't think a person getting a seat right now, for the most part, there's not some hidden motive by the folks in power. If people want to call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever they want, fine. Let's just go ahead and put her in the Supreme Court, and then when they make a constitutional thing, let's see if she actually will stand up on the political view and make sure that the law is upheld. or she sticks to what she says. Judges shouldn't deal with political issues. So here's my issue with that statement. You know, just taking a snippet of things. The Supreme Court is responsible if there is a executive order or anything like that, which is a political issue, that interferes or goes against the law. Let's say like the voting nonsense. Supreme Court has the right to overturn it because everyone has the freedom to vote. This person is saying that judges shouldn't deal with political issues. Maybe that's why she was nominated, is because of her views. So I understand some people view things from a racial standpoint, and race does play a factor. However, for me, I'm not only taking that into consideration, I'm actually listening to the questioning in her responses.
Okay.
So she's being questioned about her being on a board at Georgetown School where they teach critical race theory because it's a private school, so they can teach what they want. She says that the board has no say-so in what's being taught there. I was watching a VOD while I was listening to everybody of her being accused of letting folks that watch child pornography go. She's got like severe cases and then like being accused of being too soft per se. So there are other things that I'm digging into. Like I said earlier, you know, now I'm in a rabbit hole because I want to know at this point what not only is happening right now, but what issues is it potentially going to lead to in the future.
Okay. Leonard, what's your heart on that?
That's his thing. It's completely personal. Like I said, you know, everyone has their own issue. So whatever you choose, that's how you are. You know what I'm saying? Me, like I mentioned before, I'm not particularly interested in subjective arguments. And I'm definitely not going to denigrate the achievements of other African Americans. So I'm really just listening. Because these criteria that you all are mentioning about do you use that same criteria in your life? I'm just asking. You know, I've stood up before the United States Court of Military Justice. So just because a judge is sitting there doesn't mean that judge is always going to do what you want to do. But when you are right and you know the law, that's what is important. Your personal feelings are your personal feelings. I hope this judge will do exactly what she says. She has an unbiased approach as it relates to politics. However, she is there to uphold the Constitution of the United States, to challenge it if be necessary, and also to be a part of the changes that may or may not be necessary. You complain about why black folks don't have a right to vote into perpetuity, because the court ain't never been in such a way that they would vote for that. So how you think you're going to get that type of thing unless you are active in getting and pushing these types of people to that particular court that makes that decision? Why would you not elect a president that would appoint a Supreme Court justice in alignment with that which you have fought for? These are the things I fight for. So everybody's opinion is their own personal opinion, probably about something personal to them. whether you've been in the military or not, or anything, whether you sold dope or not. You know the deal. You know what you did, and you got your information, and you know how that information got beat in court. The judge didn't have you there because you was black. The judge had you there because you had been arrested on a drug charge for which there was evidence for to bring you to court for. Everybody arrested for drugs don't even go to court. So, you know, you have to look at these particular issues. You can't just pick out a piece of history that you want and then sit and pontificate on that one issue as if nothing else around it exists. So there has to be a more practical approach that I choose to go about things. I like to look and weigh the information. But I understand people's opinion because I know what side I'm on. And I do not struggle with that. I am not ignorant. I am not a subject of a program or brainwash or anything of that nature. I'm just a black guy with a brain that makes rational decisions about how they live their life. Period.
Absolutely. Cassandra, what's on your
heart? Raheem?
Yes.
But can I just say something? Because we said that we were going to put out correct information.
Yes.
So if we're going to say something, let's just put it exactly what happened.
Yes, ma'am.
On the subject of her being quote unquote soft on child molesters or whatever, you know, pornography, whatever you want to say. She specifically, they pounced that on her over and over again. They went to that. She specifically said the decisions that she made was based on the recommendations, which is what they are supposed to do as a judge. The recommendation of probation or parole officers and attorneys, district attorneys. Okay, that's how she based her decision. So she just didn't say, "Oh, you," and she did some hard ones because she mentioned several. But she said she always tells them when they stand before her and they crying or whatever, because she gives them 20 years or longer than what they think. She said, "How do you think the woman or child that you did this to, how do you think they feel for what they will have to endure, some of them the rest of their life because of your decisions?" So, you know, I just want to make it clear that a judge cannot go beyond what she is given. And she went with the lighter sentences. She went with the recommendations of parole and probation officers. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, I just keep thinking about what Ray said, man, about walking through that wrong door. Now, this might sound odd. I support the woman. I like her record. I don't like the process. Cassandra said something key. She wasn't the only black female that they were that they had as a candidate, as a nominee.
Yes.
Only black female. Still, you get what I'm saying? So I can understand correcting the wrongs and making everything diverse and equal. I can understand that. But still, at the same time, what I'm saying is we need to be aware that we're not being pandered to, because that is a practice that continues to happen. And when you look at the situations that has happened leading up to Biden getting nominated and elected president, he sat down with Cardi B, of all people. He took advantage of a movement and a trend. Oh, she's hot. Cardi B, she's hot. Yeah, we'll let her do an interview. Not Michelle Obama, not Gayle King, not Oprah. Cardi B. That's pandering to the fullest. And we just love it. We just suck it up. Just suck it up. You see, some people might think that the argument I'm making is against her. No, it's not against her. It's against the process. He could have did this and not even said, "This is what I'm doing." He could have appointed this black woman, nominated her, and not even said, "This is the reason why I'm doing it. I'm being biased." Yeah. Look at me, y'all. I'm going to be biased, and I'm going to do exactly what they complain about. Then later on down the road, y'all can come back and do the same thing. Precedence. See, when you set a precedence, other people can go and manipulate it and use it the same another way, and then you don't have a leg to stand on because you set the precedence. You right off the top said, I'm looking for a qualified person that only look like this and only look like that and only look like that. So a lot of times we say, oh man, only people complaining is the people that don't like a black woman. No, it ain't got nothing to do with that. It's about the process that we keep participating in, and then we embrace it. Once again, we did it with Bill Clinton. We did it with a lot of people was happy to see Clarence Thomas. That was the big thing. Black man on the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
He passed the eye test. She passed the eye test with me, Miss Jackson. She passed the eye test with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't ashamed to say that I was in favor of her anyway when I saw it was a black woman. But then I had to dig deep down inside because I felt the same way about Kamala. Even after I knew what she did in California, I said, well, you know what? Anyway, we still need some color up in there. And she put on the Chucks and Pearls, and she lied about listening to Tupac in college. Tupac wasn't even rapping when she was in college. Oh, I used to listen to Tupac. She lied about all that. Pandering again, Chucks and Pearls, Black Girl Magic. She did all that, then got in office and said, well, I ain't doing nothing special for black people. Walking through the wrong door. But see, this is what we'll do. Sometimes we don't really listen. We just hear somebody disagrees with us or says something against something that we embrace, and that's all we hear and we run with it. Like when I said that about the military a second ago.
Yes.
I did say, unless you are going in now with an agenda to learn and bring something back to benefit you or your community. But going in there under the guise of patriotism, or even just going under the guise of money is stupid, because if you all end up at war and take that shot in the head and you ain't got but about a minute left to live, you're going to think, man, was this really worth that scat pack, that Hellcat with that scat pack that I signed up for the military for? Because now I'm over here about to die. I'm killing people.
Exactly.
Oh,
so we sometimes we still walk through the same door and then sit back and try to justify walking through the wrong door because it paid good enough. So that's what I'm trying to wake us up from. See, we'll embrace things depending on how it benefits us.
Good deal.
And then we'll instead of hearing the other side of the story, not realizing that we were walking through the wrong door. Man, I was glad Ray said that.
Good deal. Good deal.
We've been walking through the wrong door. Go ahead, man.
Let me go to because this thing is getting. I wanted to go to something else today. I might not be able to, because this right here is this is so meaty right here. But let me go to Kate. Kate been listening in for a minute. Kate, good morning. How you doing this morning? Kate with E.
Good morning. Fine, and you?
Hey, doing good. What do you think about this whole process? The young lady that's about to get the seat on the Supreme Court. Biden said he's looking for a specific person, specific gender, specific race, everything. Was it fair? Was the process fair?
You mean, was it fair?
Yes.
I would pray that it was fair, that they you said they placed her on the Supreme thing?
Well, that's who Biden elected. He elected her to be on the Supreme Court. Now they're going through the process of getting her the seat. Was the process of her being elected? Nominated,
right.
Exactly.
Nominated.
Yeah.
Nominate. They want to nominate.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, she got to get the seat first. She ain't even got the seat yet. They just nominating her for the seat. So she got to get in there first. But all I can tell y'all is, my mama is up in heaven, and she is shouting and she is praising, because she has always told me as a kid, as a teenager, because I was a teenager, that one day, she said, we created this world right along with the Creator. We created this. We created that. She said they so talented until they don't know what to do with us. They kept us behind for as long as they could. One day, she said, he going to bring us out. She said, and you ain't seen nothing yet. And I thank God she did get to live to see Obama become president. And she said, didn't I tell you, Kay Francis? So I'm looking at my mama's dream unfold. She said it's going to be black people in all kind of seats. And up here, we got a lot of black folks in a lot of seats. Topeka, Wichita, we got a lot of black folks and a lot of seats. So it's happening. Yes. And if we want it to continue to happen, we got to get out of our seat and make a move. We can't talk about it. We got to be about it.
Absolutely.
And we got to encourage our black people to get up in office, get in there. They starting a young thing for young councilmen we have young black councilmen running for that seat. I'm gonna send it to you, Raheem. When I tell you it's nice, it's nice. It's a good feeling to see our people get somewhere.
Good
I
deal.
just pray they don't get in those seats and forget how they got there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Toya with a T, talk to me. Toya, you there? Toya might have stepped away for a second. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
Not too much, Raheem. I just, I don't know. I'm not into politics and a lot of things, but I will say that we wait for the next opportunity to sing "We Shall Overcome."
Wow. Wow.
And while we not, and so it's good that it'll be a good thing if this seat would be covered in that way. But my question would be is when are they going to replace the system? Because that's the thing that's the problem. We have a corrupt system. And whoever is dictating the narrative of how we go about things as a whole in our government, in our community, in our justice system, until that thing there is changed. It just seems like to me that things go on as usual.
Wow. Ray, what's on your heart, brother?
Just two things. I wanted to ask a question. Would y'all rather be given something, or do you want to take it? That's the first thing. You want a handout, or you gonna take what's yours? That's a question that everyone needs to ask themselves. The second thing is,
well, what happens to earn it?
Earn it based off of whose standards. Earning puts in precedence that we are earning it based off of someone else's ideology and or standard. It's none of that. Do you want to be given it? Because earning is a gift. It's given to you. Or are you going to take what's yours? That's the base question. And the next thing I wanted to cover I forgot the gentleman's name that said, have you interacted with three people? Those three people. I have interacted with those three people in the sense of providing intelligence. I'm telling you, all you guys now, and this is what I want to provide. I want to provide a peer into intelligence and information. You all would throw up if you saw the documents that got approved and the briefs that I had to give about killing people. You would puke yourselves about the way they want to go about it, or about the way Clinton, because I had to use Clinton's briefs for some stuff, or about the way that they use psychological attacks on us and other people. You would puke. So don't stand on a conversation you met with them. There's, like Badger said, you can label it conspiracy all you want. There's a behind the curtain. There's a behind the curtain for every single thing. And I want to give y'all a little peek into it. An instance would be the Middle East, the current, which is now declassified, understanding and attacks on the Middle East of how to attack them. Obama approved this, by the way, would be to literally destroy every part of functionality of their everyday life to where the civilians die. That's the next attack. That's how we plan.
Wow. Anybody have anything?
He checked that block. He said, "Yeah, no, this is good. This is how we're gonna do it." But that sound okay though, right? Y'all okay with that? Like someone said in here earlier, it's like, what are you doing? And I stand on that. I agree. It's what is everyone doing? And are you standing on what you're saying and moving appropriately? Like that's the biggest trope, the biggest hurdle trope of all time. You got to stand on what you're talking about and actually take the time to look for people that know. Like, I don't get into conversations about politics extensively because I don't know politics. But if you want to talk intelligence with me and learn how to research and learn how to break down what's a ruse or not, learn how to peer through the internet to get documents that ain't supposed to be gotten, talk to me. But that's just, you know what I'm saying? I have that background. I have that expertise. And it is right. A couple people saying it's how you use the information. It's just, we got to stop buying into this whole front page. Everybody reading the beginning title of the book and the index of the book and being like, this is a good book. It ain't that. There's a book out there that the Al-Qaeda wrote about them being throughout history. They're not going anywhere, is what the book said. It even identifies when we came into contact with them, gave them money, and tried to train them, and they still decided to go for their people. There's an actual book out there. It's actually called Al-Qaeda. That's crazy, right?
Wow. Good deal. Good deal. Good information, man. And like I said, we're gonna move forward. Hold on now. We're gonna move forward, and we're gonna keep this thing going on. Badger, what you wanted to say, brother?
So I just want to make sure that I'm being clear, because apparently I've said some things that people took out of context. She is being accused of a lot of things that I'm mentioning. Or that is how they're wording things, trying to make her look bad. And then the facts come up.
So she's not wrong at all, basically, is what you're saying. They're just trying
well, her or the other judges that are also, you know, some researchers and newspapers, you know, started pulling up how many cases of all this stuff, and it's like, if you're going to call her soft, then you got to call all these people soft. So there's a lot being said and thrown out there towards her in a lot of different ways. They're even trying to make her look like she's not going to, when I mentioned earlier about the political issues, there's a difference between getting involved in politics and being a judge in the Supreme Court to make sure the policymakers are following the law. You don't have to get involved with political issues to uphold the law. So these are accusations and their silver tongues trying to make this person look like they're bad, especially with it being a black African woman. I don't even know what terminologies to use anymore in this country. This human being that's female or calls herself female, I don't know anymore. Of you're this, well, let's look at this, let's bring your family in, let's bring your religion in, da 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 da, and she's sitting there approaching it from a professional standpoint, representing the job she is being hired to do and not letting them twist what she stands for. She says, yes, I'm religious, faith is very good to is very important to me.
That's good. That's good. Charles, what's on your heart? No.
Go ahead. I paused for a moment. I'm sorry. My wife was wanting to put in her input. She says the reason. Say it again.
You know why it's a smear campaign? Because she's the most qualified person there.
It's a smear campaign because she's the most qualified person there.
They always do that.
Go ahead, Charles.
This is not new, man. If you all sit and I'm 53 years old, if you all ever seen judges be appointed, they do this to all judges. They're not just doing it to her because she's black. They do this. If you don't understand they do this to all judges, then you are just now paying attention. Or you're being blind on purpose. This is what they do to all judges. Every last one that I've seen, this is what they do. Now, as for bringing her in and saying she's black, but I'm gonna pick a black woman that is pandering at the best, at the most, because all he could have done was just do it. And like Rico said, all he is doing is giving somebody else the chance of doing the same thing. You understand? So if the next person say, I want to bring in a white Jewish person, you can't get mad. If the next person say, I want to bring in an Asian transvestite, you can't get mad.
Why the pandering part? The reason why they pander because they know most of us are not any deeper than our skin. We idolatrize, we love our skin, we idolatrize our skin. Our skin is an idol to a lot of us, which is a curse. You understand? I think once the Black community get past that, we're gonna be one of the most advanced beings in this world. Because at one time we were past that. We regressed. And now our skin becomes our handicap because we love it so much and we base everything off of our skin. So it makes us easier to be tricked. You understand? They use the same process every time. You trick us very easy with our skin because that's what we love. Once we stop loving that, it'll be harder to trick us.
Wow. Now you put something out there, man, that has, I think it has a lot of bullet holes in it, man. But Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Lord have mercy. I cannot believe what I'm hearing, but I guess this is just where we are. I'm so damn glad that they chose her because of her skin color, because every time in the past, before there was even a Clarence Thomas, all we saw was white old men sitting on that Supreme Court making decisions based on their really half of it was based on their dislike of trying to hold Black people back because we had no kind of there was no concern for us when they were writing the Constitution. So yes, if we can get a Black person, a Latino person, somebody that can make some decisions that would help change the system, which is what somebody said. I don't know who said it. The system is corrupt. So how do you change a system that is corrupt? You put in people that will say, "Oh no, this is not the right way for us to do this or to handle this." We're still trying to get fairness when it comes to voting. They're making decisions on that, and we're talking about if we forget our color, what the hell? Yes, and I'm emotional. Yes, I am emotional about that. Why can't we want the best for our own people? Why can't we want to see changes that will make everything equal and just for everybody? Because guess what? If it was somebody else in there, it would be a white man or a white woman going into that position. Yeah, put her in there. She's highly qualified. She's made great decisions in the past, and we just have to believe that she's going to continue to make good decisions that will help bring change into a system that is already corrupt. Damn it, I love my color. Thank you.
Hey, Cassandra, you know where you're going right now, don't you? Go on, head on over there.
And I'll gladly go there. Go
on over there in that corner. You know where you're going. Go on over there in that corner. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I had lost the signal because I was going in the tunnel. I'm at a doctor's appointment, but Cassandra is dead on point. You know, the fact that we even questioning that, you know, is crazy. And it goes to show me just how much brainwashing we have become. See, sometimes you got to see the psychological warfare beyond what's on the surface. That's one. Two, when I was on the phone, I heard Badger say something earlier that I just need to correct. When this lady is saying that she does not want to speak on policy that's being made, what she's telling you is it is her job to evaluate if the policy that's being made is proper according to the law.
That's what I was saying.
For example, if they pass a law that's That's if they pass a law that says that, for example, no black folk can live in the state of Michigan, then it becomes her job, if someone files a case or a lawsuit, they have to prove that it is unlawful, to say that black folk cannot live in Michigan. And somebody has to fight against that and say that it is proper for this law to be in place. So what she was speaking on is her speaking on laws that are not per se, what's the word I'm looking for? Written. If the body has not created the law, and she can't speak on what needs to be or what should be, she has to speak on what is, and is it going with or going against the law? Is it a violation of set forth laws? It's just like, if they denied us the right to vote, they're like, yeah, we can use the gerrymandering thing.
Mm-hmm.
If gerrymandering does not line up with what the voters' rights, civil rights laws of 64 and 65, then that's when the judge comes in place and say no, or yes, it does line up, or no, it does not. So that's what she was speaking on. She wasn't speaking on the fact that she will never speak on legislative issues.
Mm-hmm.
It is, she can only speak on legislative issues when they are in violation or they line up with the legislative law.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I want to, man, this is funny, man, because I'm telling you, I'm agreeing with Ray Charles. I say that back. Ray and Charles. I'm agreeing with both of them guys wholeheartedly, man. And we keep talking about psychological warfare and looking at things on the surface, and that's the whole point I'm making. So now, I hear everybody's contempt with some of the comments. They can't believe what's being said. But somewhere you have to think, because I think I'm somewhat practical too. And I'm looking at it like this. If he had only appointed her without even putting all these other labels and titles on it, we wouldn't be having these conversations. See, we have been trying as black people to correct the Constitution, become a part of this community, this country, and also get rid of bias, privilege, and entitlement. And the best way we want to do it is to actually use bias and entitlement. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if he had done the same, appointed the same woman, and had not said, I'm looking for this, and this only. He could have just appointed her as the most qualified person.
Mm-hmm.
Then this couldn't be used as a weapon or another tactic later on down the road. She wouldn't go down in history as the most qualified black woman.
Mm-hmm.
You see, she's always going to have an asterisk on the side of her name now.
Mm-hmm.
And Charles was right. They do this with every judge that they appoint or that they nominate. They do this with every nominated justice. But this time, we're involved because now we've let them, like I said, once again, jump on that momentum. That new trend is so hot right now. I mean, the new big thing is that black woman empowerment is huge. And I love it. But some people are using it because they analyze us, they watch us, and they know how to use these tactics against us to keep us distracted. So now here it is. Here comes Joe. He didn't only have to let us look and see that this woman was black. He was going to tell us she's black just like the other women I want to nominate, and I wasn't going to nominate anybody else.
Wow.
No, that was going to rub some people wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. It does need to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be even be an issue. So he could have made it a non-issue just by keeping those words out of his mouth that I'm looking for this and this only. See, what he did, he contributed to bias and entitlement, and now all of a sudden we cool with it. Ain't there some black people cool with entitlement? Black people cool with privilege and bias? But then all of a sudden when it's used against us again, oh no. So, if we're going to participate in the system, then we got to accept when that same system works against us. He could have easily kept all this down and just appointed that woman. But he made it an entitlement, and he created some bias. And that contributes to more confusion and more of the same old corrupt government.
Wow. Leonard, anything on your heart?
Raheem,
Yes.
why aren't we paying attention? He specifically did that. I'm gonna repeat it again because Representative Clyburn asked him as a part of his support of him and reaching out to more black people to put him in, that he makes the recommendation, if he had the opportunity, to make the recommendation for a black female to be put in that position.
Sure did.
Yes, that's politicking. You can call it whatever you want. That's campaigning. That's what our politicians do. So I don't understand why we got a problem with that. He was asked to do it. It was a part of his campaign promise. And what he did is he made the decision to do that. Listen, white people are going to be biased anyhow. We know that. They're going to put their people in the positions they want them in anyhow. So why would we have a problem with using that same system to put somebody in that may be able to help make the change from that?
Wow. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm listening. Just the information is valuable in what I do. Because it's an issue for a lot of reasons. I remember I was running for a particular office, and I became president, and an older black man, whom I had respect for, he whispers in my ear, "It's about time we had male leadership around here." I know he wasn't about the cause. I know he wasn't ready to make that final step into the future. And we spoke about black men and Trump, and you specifically said, because he's a villain. And if you see yourself as a villain, you will support victimization and everything else. If that's who you are. Guess what predators do? They have prey. Look at their prey. If that's what you prey on, that makes you a predator. This notion that somehow you can fix a problem by not being a part of the solution is baffling to me. But I see this in another area of our lives. It is the responsibility for our women and children. This notion that it just works out by itself, everything will be fine if you do nothing, that doesn't work. How are you going to get anywhere if you ain't going that way? I mean, yeah, you want to make laws, but you don't want to go to law school. You want to do all this, but you have no knowledge, skills, abilities, or talents other than the tip of your nose. But you somehow can explain the plight of African Americans based on one or two bits of information. And I hear people say, well, what does John Biden do for black folks and blah, 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 whatever he does he keep his word? It is upon every president, it's their prerogative on who they appoint to this court. And then that appointee has to stand up to this grilling in committee. So it sheds a light and exposes a lot. And somebody tell me the system. Because if you're talking about a particular system, you all should tell me the exact same thing. Because it's the system. Mm-hmm. So someone, please tell me the system. What do you refer? You're referring to the system. What is it?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And what is your part in it if you have any part?
Mm-hmm.
Or what is your relationship to it? Because I hear it a lot, but no one explains what that system is above and beyond exploitation or victimization.
Absolutely. Rosalind, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Doing well. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing well. Rosalind, what's on your heart? We talking about a lot, but the center of what we're talking about is the young lady that's going to be that's being nominated to the seat of the Supreme Court. Now, Biden said he wanted a specific person, specific gender, specific blah blah blah. Was that a fair and a just way of doing it, of nominating her?
Yes, and I caught the end of the conversation, but I agree with Miss Cassandra.
Mm-hmm.
With every accomplishment and everything that I do, I wake up and I look in the mirror and I say, I'm proud of you, Black woman. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we have been through so much. And I mean, you know about back in the day, we couldn't go to school, we couldn't get educated. If we did, we was called the N-word, we was, backlash and all that. So yes, I feel like she deserves to be nominated, and I feel like Joe Biden had to. I agree with what he did. But here, I mean, just want to say this real quick. Here in my town, we've never, ever, ever had a Black person in any type of position, right? Mm-hmm. Judge, circuit clerk offices, councilman, mayor. We've never had a Black mayor, never. So now that they see that we're running for positions like this, they get in an uproar. When I say they, I say white people, because they don't want us in positions in this town, right? Mm-hmm. So as I tell everybody, I'm gonna run for everything. My name gonna stay on the ballot. You might as well get ready. I'm running for sheriff. I'm running for everything. Why? Because I'm qualified.
Yeah.
And I will be on the ballot.
Mm-hmm. Wow. She said she running for everything, boy. She ain't taking them shoes off. No. She gonna keep running. Badger, what's on your heart?
So I was saying the same thing as Charles said earlier. I actually support her, Miss Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my opinion, she stands for exactly what her job title is. She's going to uphold the law in a fair and ethical manner. Everything I've seen in her cases, the way she's handling being belittled versus the other ones that I have watched of how judges have treated, she seems the most confident I have seen out of most judges. So I honestly feel like this woman is very qualified to do the job that she's been nominated for. And she's going to do it ethically. She's going to judge the way she should judge. And we need people that are going to uphold the law in that manner. So, and that goes all the way up to the House and the Senate. The people that are making policies and bills and all this other stuff. There are bills that are still sitting there that should have been passed that has not been passed in 10 years. And it just gets renewed every year. Nothing gets done. So we need people like that is fair and ethical. And they're not worried about the paycheck from a corporation.
Wow. That's
so
good.
I have to hop off. I hope everyone has a blessed day, but I will continue listening.
You do the same, brother. Appreciate you, man. Definitely appreciate you. Let me go right now. Who am I going to go to? Who am I going to throw this question at? Let me see. Let me go to Rico. Rico, you there?
Yeah, I'm right there.
Okay, hold on for a second. Let me do my little opener here. You're listening to DK Media Group. This is the Morning Glow. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on DKM Media Group and Associates. You can be a part of the conversation. All you have to do is give us a call at 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. What we're talking about today, we're talking about the situation with the young lady that's nominated for the Supreme Court. Now, Rico, it said that this happens all the time. The badgering, the back and forth, the nitpicking and things of that sort. Does it always happen? And it does happen, but does it always happen to this level?
Oh man, I mean Kavanaugh.
Mm-hmm.
Kavanaugh was something serious, and I was in support of the women.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he did do that stuff. He looked like he did the stuff that woman said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would hope they're not crying wolf. That happens too.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? My bias,
yeah,
made me lean towards the favor of the women, just like the bias towards black people
mm-hmm.
made their eye test for this woman here more favorable.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna repeat again, just like Badger. I support this woman,
mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna ask this question again because it seems like people just only hear what they want to hear and they don't want to just think for 1 second.
Come on.
Would her support have been any different had he nominated her but not told anybody his reason behind it?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't he have just talked to these people that he made this agreement with and not put it out there in the public?
Yeah.
So people wouldn't see that he's being biased.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He could have had this. He could have had her in mind and then nominated other people just for the eye test, so people wouldn't know I have an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And this agenda is to ride this momentum of Black Girls Rock and Black Girl Magic. I'm riding it. It's big. It ain't stopping. It's none. It's a movable object right now.
Wow.
So let's go ahead and pander to these people. And when we in the process of pandering to them, we're gonna let them know that we going all in. If she ain't fit, we'll find another sister.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
Because they are the most qualified person, period, for this high court.
Okay.
That I'm gonna nominate. So now we just gonna buy that. We gonna buy that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he could have nominated her without putting all these other titles on that'll make us just say, ooh wee.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could have just saw it with our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then just went with the motion. But instead, he pandered. And now this is going to be a problem. And on top of it, there could be something underneath. I mean, it's just, and I'm not wrong. I don't want to say I'm wrong or right. I'm not sure. But I do support this woman.
Mm-hmm.
I do not support the way he did it.
Toya, what's on your heart, sis? Toya, you there? Cassandra, talk to me.
Yeah, first, we got to make sure we putting out the right information. He was not the one that put out that he was going to nominate a Black woman. Representative Clyburn reminded him publicly what he had said during the campaign, that after he spoke to him, that he asked him to do that. He reminded him, you said that if a seat came open, you would nominate a Black woman. Mm-hmm. He didn't come out and say that. So once Clyburn put it out there, of course, his responsibility was to reply, yes, I said that. It was a promise, and I'm going to stand up to what I said. What is more honorable than that? To me, that's integrity. You said you'd do it. The man called you on it, and you did it. Now it's still a problem. You can call it pandering. You call it anything you want. I want to see diversity, people of color in the Supreme Court, because those bunch of all white men sitting there making the most messed up decisions for this country, saying that they're doing in the name of the Constitution. They need to retire. When they get a certain age, they need to just put their asses in the grass.
Yes, ma'am. I'll sit in the corner with you, Cassandra.
But I mean that.
Cassandra,
yes,
you got people. You got people going to. They know you're going to the corner right now because you just use a word that we don't use it. So, and you got other people that's volunteering to go to the corner with you, man. So I don't know. Look,
I'm gonna go with her too.
I don't know what kind of uprising y'all got going on around here. Who all going?
Yeah, I'm sitting with her right now.
be in agreement with her, but this been going on for a long time, so it's just some overdue stuff. And my thing is, she made great decisions in the past. My prayer is that she get in office and she continue to work for us and not get in office and be bulldozer and do what they want her to do and do what she's supposed to do.
Wow. Charles, what's on your heart, brother?
So Biden, whether whoever brought it out, I'm agreeing with Rico, but I want everybody to keep the same energy if it flip-flops in the future. You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. If another president promised something, keep the same energy. Because like Rico said, no matter what, whether he made a campaign promise or not, he shouldn't have said it at all, to me. Because all it's doing is setting her up and setting us up in the future. That if it's done again, we cannot complain about it because we agree with this mess. Now, on top of that right there, you got to, because I know the question you asked Rico about how they scrutinize and question people even before Kavanaugh. You go on video and you go look at when judges are appointed. Clarence Thomas, the way they went at him. Matter of fact, the way Biden went at him. But like Curtis said, people can change in 40 years or 30 years, what have you, and people can. Biden hasn't. But anyway, y'all got to keep the same energy now. If you let one thing go like this, you got to keep letting it go. It's like, you know, how a referee refs, hey, you let him walk, you got to let us walk. You know what I'm saying? You let him travel, you got to let us travel. You understand? So it's always going to be that. I understand people feel, I guess I was just raised from a different person, people. And we love being Black. But that's not just who I am. I'm not just Black. I'm more than this. That's just my skin. If you take my skin off, I'm still Black within me. But I'm more than just Black, my skin color. I'm more than that. So I don't have to worship it. And I think that's a big downfall of our community, and it's going to be a big curse. And I think I'm going to probably get Ray to start studying this for me, because, you know, he studies a lot too about these curses and how these curses happen to us. But that's just my piece, man.
Okay, so in order to say, I'm going to move on because we got Willa with us as well.
She's still wrestling.
We also got to understand, you know, to claim that you're cursed. That's wow. That's a lot to claim, you know.
No, you look in the Bible, and the Bible tells you about curses. So it's not claiming it; it's just knowing it.
Okay,
you understand? I know this is Black on my scrubs.
What is leprosy? What is leprosy? You ain't got to answer that. You ain't got to answer that. Let me go to Willa.
It's a disease.
Yeah. Okay. I see you ain't got to answer that. Willa, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. I'm fine. Good morning, team.
We talking about the nominee, the young lady that's nominated for the Supreme Court Justice. We talking about that today, and asking the question. Was it just? Was the way that it was done? Because he said he wanted a specific person, a specific gender, a specific. Was that a fair process that was done to get her in the nomination?
I've been listening, and I definitely agree with what Rico is saying. We got to pay attention, because really he didn't have to say why. He could have just did it like they do everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, it's always a reason behind what they're doing, and we don't know right now, but it's gonna come into play. It's always gonna show up, because when something is not right, the truth is gonna come out. You gotta believe it's gonna come out. We talked about it yesterday when we talked about how Black women have a hard time in just this life anyway. We as women, we've always had to work even harder, double harder because of our color. And I think somebody made a statement. I think it was, I don't know, I think it was Kay, when she said, well, she would work for us. And what I mean by that, I believe she means by that is that now we'll have a fair chance. We'll have a fair opportunity. But if you said that and somebody else would look at it like this, then why is it she's just working for you guys, your culture? Why couldn't it be that she's working for all people? Because, you know, that's how I look at it. You know, and forgive me if it seems like I'm not just leaning one way. Because I'm gonna make this real short. When I was working at M&M Mars, they had a diversity class, and they put all around the room. They put white, black, Asian, the different colors. You know what I'm saying? And they said, I want you to stand up by the culture that you that you enjoy working with the most. I didn't stand up, and the teacher told me. She said, well, why didn't you stand up? I said, because you ain't got the person up there that I like to work with. I like to work with somebody that's hard, somebody that's going to work hard, somebody that's dependable. I don't care what color they is.
Yeah.
And so she said that I was being dishonest because I didn't put up there I like working with my own kind. That wasn't true. I don't care what color you. If you lazy, I don't want to work with you. I don't care what color you are because you're black. I'm not going to vote for you if you don't know how to do the right job. If I don't know your resume, I don't know some background behind you. That's just me. That's just me. I don't lean toward one culture because of the color. So that's my opinion, Raheem.
Well, why don't you just tell us exactly how you feel now? Just tell us exactly how you feel, sister, because you know, Toya with a T, you back with us? Toya, you there? Oh, okay, Rosalind.
Yes, sir.
What's on your heart?
Oh, I'm just still listening. I'm just still listening. Still side with Miss Cassandra. I'm just listening. You can just pass it on to somebody else.
Okay, good deal. I was trying to go to Tucson, but I see we done lost Tucson for a second, so hopefully he'll be calling back in just a tad bit. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
It's going to be real interesting to find out. You know, I like to see people's next move. Their next move. And basically it's because, one, like I mentioned before, we have these conversations because of an issue and we don't identify it properly. Everybody's talking about, you know, the what's going on behind closed doors. What? How can you talk about that what you don't know? The ulterior motive. What is it? Or are you just satisfied with the notion of that in your own head? At least be able to explain it. If I was going to tell you someone was doing something dishonest, I would tell you who they were, exactly what they did, when they did it, and how they did it, and then we could discuss that issue from there.
Yeah.
I can't discuss an issue if the perception changes constantly. Constantly. I'm only looking at this particular issue, at this job, why she was nominated, the intent of the person that nominated her, the questioning by the committee, and moving towards confirmation. You know, a lot of times people are always not going to like change. And a lot of people don't buy into change. Some people want to stay just the way it was. Some people want it just their way because they believe that they're right.
Okay. Leonard, let me throw this at you real quick, Leonard. Let me throw this question at you real quick, and I don't mean to cut in on you, but do you think the way that it was done, and how he did it, he should have maybe just not said anything, went on, nominated who he wanted to nominate, and let it go like that? Or was there indeed a mistake made when he announced it?
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, to me, the issue is petty as hell.
Hey, go over there with Cassandra.
If you don't want to see a black woman, what do you want to see? What would satisfy you? What would satisfy you? Because it's not your choice. It's his. And for whatever reason he chooses that person, it is completely fair. All the other presidents did it this way. Same thing. But so what is the big deal here unless you have some implicit bias or something that automatically makes you second guess a black person?
Okay.
I mean, like, say, for instance, when we're talking about qualifications, what qualifications are you talking about? Do you know men will sit around and argue who was the best basketball player for 30 years?
Yeah.
And change the rules every conversation? What fruit does that bear? Zero.
Wow. Good deal.
So we'll sit around talking about how he said what he said and forget the implications of why this young woman needs to be on that court. This is part of the strategy.
Okay.
Now, you know all about everybody else's strategy. How come you don't know this one?
Wow. Good deal. Let me move on.
Of authority. Why don't you know this?
Okay, hold right there. Let me go. I gotta pull somebody else into the conversation. Rico, what's on your heart, man? And you made the point as well that maybe he should not have announced it. Maybe he should have just went head on and just did what he was going to do and let it go the way it go. You still stand on that, Rico? Okay, we might have lost Rico there for a second. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
I oh Lord, help us. Okay. So
Cassandra, you need to go
we are sitting again, and I'm gonna say this I think I've said this about 10 times. He did not bring out the fact that he was going to nominate a black woman. Representative Clyburn said after he was elected, reminded him publicly, because that's the way Clyburn operates, which I love it, because it gives accountability. When you make a promise, when you say you're going to do something, I'm going to hold you accountable. That's the way Representative Clyburn operates. So Clyburn reminded him publicly that he said, if a position comes open, I am going to, you are going to nominate a black woman. I just want to remind you of that publicly. So, of course, with Clyburn having the influence that he did, President Biden had to reply to that. He had to reply to that because it was done publicly. It was on all the news media that Clyburn was reminding him of that. So it was a response, y'all. It was a response. He was responding and being accountable for what he said. I love that. So when the next white Republican president gets in and he elects a white male into a position on the Supreme Court, I want to know what y'all going to say to him. The people who got this, what are you going to say?
Wow.
Because that is the pattern that has been happening. I love seeing color on the Supreme Court.
Wow. That's good. We got a lot.
Can I add, Raheem?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
My experience on working with folks like Al Sharpton and things like that, and really working like what Ms. Cassandra was talking about, and political capital, and delivering on your promises. Because one, if these people secured the vote for you, surely you can keep your promise to nominate, not make her a justice, nominate.
Wow. Rico,
and Raheem.
Yes, ma'am.
Raheem, may I add, not only is it on the Supreme Court level, it's also on the parole board in corrections as well.
Wow. Good. That's good. Rico, I think we had some technical difficulty with you that for a second ago, brother. But what's on your heart, man? Do you stand on that?
No, I didn't hear what was going on, man. I clicked over. That was my son's school calling me.
Oh, okay.
From down in Florida. So, I clicked over for a second. What y'all talking about?
Well, we said that, and I made the point that I was iterating the point that you made when you said that had he not publicly just said what he was going to do, just went head on and just did it and let it go where it goes, it probably would have been a better, or like you said earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Do you stand on that?
Yeah, it's practical. I mean, you know, if everybody could one by one answer that question, had he not done that and just nominated her, would they have heard anything? If everybody says no, then they got to think about all this other uproar and emotion that they done got themselves in to this point where they just couldn't even just sit down and think about this simple question, that simple move. You know, people strategize sometimes and have agenda, but they don't tell everybody. Or they don't just release it. Hey, you said you were going to do me a favor. You said you were going to look out for me. They just do it. Buddy thing. You get what I'm saying? But see, he came out there and he just exposed it. Y'all, even though these black people be saying they don't like discrimination and bias in favor and entitlement, they ready to suck it up. And I'm going to give it to them. Hey, y'all, Chucks and Pearls, I want me a black vice president. Hopefully y'all forget about the super predators. When she gets in office, she ain't going to do nothing for y'all. And I'm going to let her tell y'all. Hey, y'all, Chucks and Pearls, Black Girls Rock. I got me a black Supreme Court nominee, and I'm going to let everybody know that I'm fixing to be biased because I'm fair and I'm equal, and that's what this country is built on. No favor and no privilege. But in the process, I'm going to do this favor and privilege, and y'all watch how they contradict themselves. They're going to suck it up and say, well, we don't care. We don't care. Two wrongs make a right. And if you don't like it, I'm going to cuss it. No. How about if he just say, you know what, y'all? I think it needs to be some diversity. And I think this may be a problem if they know I'm picking her out just because she's black and female. But let me say that she is just the most qualified, period. With a T. You know how y'all like to do it, period.
Period.
Let me say she's the most qualified, period. And then let her get in without people trying to say that I was being biased or that it was unfair. That way that keeps down the controversy, and then it doesn't set a precedence for somebody else to come back and use later on. Well, remember when Biden nominated Jackson? So we're gonna have to, we know if somebody decides to come back and do the same thing and nominate somebody that we abhor, somebody that we really dislike, what we gonna do?
Where's our fighting point? Where's our fighting point? We're gonna do this. I'm gonna switch up just a little bit, man. I'm gonna switch up. Is we got about 13 more minutes before we get out of here, but I'm gonna switch up and play this little clip. This is something that I recorded. I hope it's the right one I recorded, and we're gonna comment on it. I'm asking a question when I went to the streets, and I'm going to start doing this again, certainly for Wednesday. I'm gonna go to the street, ask a question of someone in the street, and we're going to comment on it. So listen up, y'all. This is Raheem Najee, DKM Radio, or the best in gospel, jazz, and talk radio. We're sitting here with, what's your name, sir?
James Sanders.
James, do I have your permission to rebroadcast our conversation?
Yes.
Okay. James, what is the difference between a daddy and a father? I remember that one.
Well, my personal opinion, I would say a daddy is one who has a child. I would say a father is one who takes care of that child. That's my answer.
Could it be the same child, or and my question is, do it have to be a biological father to take care of that child, or if the biological father is not there, the man that steps in, could he too be a father?
Correct. He could be the father, because I have a stepson, but he's my son. You know, I raised him since he was like 4. So that's who I consider my son. And
good deal. Could y'all hear that?
No, Raheem.
Y'all couldn't hear it? Okay, let me,
yeah, man, that was extremely low, man. Only thing I heard you answer what the difference was between a dad and a father, and that was hard to hear that part.
Okay, let me grab another. Let me grab this one. See, is this one louder? Hello, this is Raheem. Can y'all hear that? This with the best in gospel, jazz, and talk radio. And I'm
extremely low. Extremely low.
Okay. Well, let's deal with the question.
I can hear it a little better.
Oh, okay. Well, let's deal with the question itself. Let's deal with the question itself. And Rico, I'm gonna start off with you, brother. What is the difference between a daddy and a father?
I mean, it was answered from what I heard. You know, the daddy, you know, he's the creator of the life. He's, you know what I'm saying, he's the other half. He's the sperm to the egg. but he might be a deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? He might not, do what he's supposed to do as a father or a creator. So the father, he's the one that comes to give the guidance, and he protects and provides. He's the one that molds him into the person that he should become in the future. So to me, that's what a father does. But the daddy is just somebody that has just provided the sperm for you.
Wow.
I don't think, right.
Say it again.
I don't think like that. Being a mother, I feel like anybody can be a daddy. It take a man. Anybody can father a child. It take a man to be a daddy, though. You can father that kid. You don't daddy kids. You father children. So he can father a child, but it takes a man to be a daddy. You can have a baby. Anybody can father a child. It takes a man to be a daddy.
Wow. Okay. Toussaint, what did you say to that? What's the difference between a dad and a father?
Depends on who defines it. Because, some of my kids call me, well, they don't call me dad or father. They call me pops.
Yeah.
And I say, I'll pop you. but it depends on it depends on who defines it, because one of them, all I know is one of them is a baby maker. The other one just sees the need for the child, and it don't have to be biological. Because I have at least one daughter that is my daughter, but like Kay, I think it is, said, I didn't father that child. But she can call me right now, and whatever she needs, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the best I possibly can, just like I would do for the rest of them.
Yeah. That's good. Let me go to let me do this again. Hold on for a second. 1 second. You're listening to the DKO Media Group and Associates. My name is Raheem Najmeh. This is the Morning Glow. You can give us a call at 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. We're asking a question right now, and asking of Cassandra. Cassandra, you with us? Cassandra, you with us? Okay. Yes. Cassandra, what is the difference between a daddy and a father? What is the difference between a daddy and a father? What do you say to that?
I don't know, because our terminologies are so crazy right now. But I just let me say this, and because I just got a text while we were talking. One of my closest friends, her niece was shot this morning by her baby's daddy.
Wow.
And she's 38 weeks pregnant. The baby was killed instantly by the shot, and she is in critical condition right now.
Wow.
This took place. So now when we're talking about something like this, I'm like, what the hell? So I don't want to try to determine a father from a daddy. I just want a man that does what is right by his children. That I don't care what you call them, daddy, papa, big papa. It doesn't matter. But this situation is stuff that I have to deal with all the time in what I do.
Wow.
So you got the child, I think she's like 20-something, 25 years old, shot in her sleep. This man shot her in her sleep, and she's 38 weeks pregnant, just lost the baby, and she's in critical condition. I don't care what term you use.
Yeah, exactly. Leonard, what do you say to that? Leonard, what is the difference between a daddy and a father?
Well, first of all, daddy is slang. That's not formal. Daddy, it means the representative of the biggest, the best. Anybody can be called a daddy for lots of reasons. But there is a specific definition for the father of a child. And it's the one that provides and takes care of the child. It's usually that one. Matter of fact, it's usually referred to, before we came up with all these other things, it was the man's seed. He was the father.
Exactly. That's good.
But now you have other definitions, because the way people live, that are being used to describe, different situations. But daddy is the slang term, and father is the proper term.
Good deal. Good
And
deal.
whether you good, bad, or whatever, those are adjectives to how you describe it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we got a lot of different phrases and things like that, like Miss Cassandra said, that we use so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't surprise if someone introduced a new one today.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. That's good. That's good. Willow, what do you say to that? What is the difference between a daddy and a father?
Well, I think someone said it earlier. That's just a term. Daddy is a term of endearment. It's not something that's legal and binding because on the birth certificate it asks for the father's name. And even though sometimes on that birth certificate the man that signs it is not the father
Mm-hmm.
of that child, he is legally bound to take care of that child, meaning that he could be taking the child support even though the child is not even his.
Mm.
So you talking about as far as the way we look at it is a father is the one who provides or whatever supposed to, and that is just a term of endearment to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it looked at it legally.
Good deal. Toya, with the T, you back with us? Toya, you back with us? Okay. Let's go to let's go to Rosalind. Rosalind, what do you say to that? What is the difference between a daddy and a father?
I would just have to say that I've always referred to my stepdad as daddy, but I look at it as a perspective of being same thing as a boy and a man. I mean, either you're a boy or a man. So as long as you're gonna step up, whoever steps up and be the man, that's how I look at it. But my stepfather was my daddy, so
Mm-hmm.
and he did everything for me.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Charles, are you back? Charles,
I'm back.
what is the difference between a daddy and a father?
I guess it's just a terminology, man. But if you want to say, I, let me see. Okay, I'll do that. But I didn't get that paper again. Okay. Okay, I apologize. I don't know like the definition because a good father is a you can have a good father and a bad father.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Or a good dad and a bad dad.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that old commercial? Oh, that's it was a basketball. Nah, that's just my dad. You know,
Yeah.
they used to call your dad. No, that's just my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the way things are going, like baby daddy and things like that, and stuff like that, I really don't know, man. You could be either a good father or a bad father. Somebody take care of your children, just like everybody on here saying.
Mm-hmm.
Or a good dad or a bad dad. Or like Toussaint was saying, my kids don't even call me. Well, my youngest called me dad, but my Ray, he called me pop.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
It's according to I guess upbringing, but good dad, bad dad, good father, bad father.
Mm-hmm.
You can put good in front of it. That's the difference. And bad.
Exactly.
And bad. And bad.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Cassandra, how are you doing?
And my condolences to Cassandra.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm not, because this child, I've known this child since she was a baby, and to think that she may lose her life and that this baby has lost its life because of somebody, whatever the case was. I don't care what it was. How do you shoot a child, a mother, and your pregnant girlfriend? How do you do that? What kind of man is that?
Wow.
Can Willa, when we pray, can Willa please, if y'all don't mind, pray for her? Her name is Princess.
Absolutely.
I'm already praying.
That's exactly. Yep.
I'm already.
Go ahead, Willa. Go. What were you saying?
I'm already praying. When she said it, I've already started praying.
Absolutely.
I've already started.
Absolutely. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today?
Well, let me say this real quick, because I think it's big that everybody brought up that about terminology. I think we have to also remember to be mindful of the fact that they have this thing called a biological father.
Yeah.
So, that goes to show you just how the mindset is over here, man. How I don't want to say disenfranchised, but we're all over the place over here, man. When you start talking and asking questions like that, having true clarity on how to understand how we perceive some of these terms and what we mean is, man, we it's hard to maneuver around.
Yeah.
So, I think about that question you asked. You asked, the Lord's Prayer says, "Our Father who art in heaven."
Yes, sir.
But that Father ain't the sperm donor. So somewhere they have clarified it and said biological father, because you can be the father of a child but didn't father it. Ain't that something?
Wow. Yep.
With that being said, if you missed today's broadcast and would like to see it or hear it in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Absolutely appreciate that, brother. Willa, I'm coming straight to you, sis. Let's do it.
I'm ready. Let our hearts and minds be on one accord. Father God, we just thank you this morning. Father, we thank you in spite of, Lord. Father, we know that it is an evil and wicked world out there, Lord. But Father, we know that you are omniscient God, all-knowing God, Lord. Father, we're praying for that young lady, oh Lord, because we know that you are omnipotent. You are powerful, God, Lord. And we know that you can bring healing to her body, oh Lord. Father, I'm asking you in the name of Jesus, Lord, to allow a miraculous miracle to show up in our lives, oh Lord, so that you may be seen, oh Lord. Father, we're standing on your words. You said that no weapon formed against us will prosper. You said it in your word, that your word brings healing to our bodies, oh Lord. Father, and I'm asking you to show up, that every hand that touches her body, that there's healing power through you, oh Lord. Father, we're counting and trusting on you this morning, Lord. Father, we're asking for a praise report tomorrow, oh Lord. A praise report the next minute, oh Lord. Father, we know that you can do anything but fail. We trust you. And we trust you, Lord, each and every day. Allow the Holy Spirit to come in and touch her body. Cover her, Lord. Father, we don't know why, but Father, we know that you are able to do anything but fail. We're asking you to do these things. Touch each and every last one, Lord. Our hearts are connecting to you. The presence of the Lord is here with us, Lord. You said where there are two or more gathered in your name, you'll be in the midst. And we believe in, Lord, that you are with us. Yes. We believe it in Jesus' name. Yes. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus.
Amen, amen, amen.
Anybody have anything before we get out of here? Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
You know how it says, cast your care on him because he cares for you.
Yes.
Times like this, you need to really take that to heart. Because life, if you absorb it, it'll consume you. Everybody's going through things, and stuff like this happens, and it's troubling, it's hurting. But we really have to get to the point that we trust God.
Yes.
I can't figure it out, but he says it's working out for good. And we have questions when stuff like this happens. So I would say just give it to him totally. And that's the only way we can come out of the situations like this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else have anything on their heart? Everybody okay? Okay. Good deal. Good deal.
We need to keep Cassandra lifted up in prayer, and we need to keep the family of that young lady lifted up in prayer, and keep her lifted up in prayer as well, that it'll all be okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. It is now 10:04. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the morning. Then I want to thank you for allowing DK Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:04. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. I love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And then we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please be blessed. Have a great day. Love y'all and take care.